But it's really a thrill to be back here at St Andrews, the Open Championship, the greatest championship that exists on the planet. You know, historically is hard to put into words, isn't it? And what's so fascinating about this championship, you don't need a yardage book always. You can hit a 5-iron, 150 yards, and the next day you can hit a wedge, and then you can hit a driver. And so it brings out, you know, there's an old saying, trust instinct to the end, though it render no reason. And to be here is such a thrill. And I stand here and I look down, it reminds me of my friend Dave King, who's caddying for me here. We were standing at Troon and we saw all these guys standing here hitting balls. And he said, you know, I'm so pleased I'm not a pro golfer. There's only one winner this week. You
and
know,
that is?
You know, well, you don't know. I actually fancy Rory McIlroy this week because it's definitely a hooker's course.
And he's not been here since 2010, obviously, because he couldn't defend his Open Championship title that he won in 2014. Obviously, 2015 was here. So it's been a 12-year gap since he's played an Open Championship here. But you're feeling good about his game.
I don't think that makes any difference. No. You know, we're on the road continuously. So you accept the examination paper that's put before you. And he's been playing well and knocking at the door. And he's got the best swing of anybody in the world. And he's the most talented. So we'll see what happens this week. But, of course, anybody who putts well, you've got to putt well and you've got to have the right mindset. And that's what wins Open Championships. But this is really a thrill. And playing today with all these people, just 4 holes, it's a wonderful concept, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. Past players, current players, future players. It's showcasing golf and saying that golf is accessible for anybody.
The autumn of his life. He'll look forward to the next few years ahead at peace, as I say, in a place he loves.
And he's out alongside Zach Johnson, Louis Oosthuizen and John Daly today in our penultimate pairing. So we're just drawing towards 3 p.m. local time. They'll be off in around about an hour and 45 minutes, so he's just getting his warm-up started. It's not a bad place to camp yourself out and see the greats today come through, see all the swings as well, Ewan.
The memories he must have. We saw at the top of the programme there, the chip in. And he felt then, even though it was early in the week, he felt then he was going to be the one to beat. You look at Muirfield, 18 pars for his first Open Championship, and John Cook had a really good chance to win that, but 18 pars was good enough. And then the emotion and the draining of that emotion on the 18th and his third Open Championship, again back at Muirfield.
There's Ash Barty, Australia's world #1. She's since retired from the game, announced her retirement. There was Catherine Newton as well to her right, an actress who's been helping out with the live on the range stuff this week. There is so much content coming your way. She is a killer golfer too, could very easily get to the stage where she could actually play golf as well. Plays off low single digits.
Well, we know for sure she's certainly got the mentality, the sporting mentality. A wonderful career. And as you say, maybe another one on the way for Ash Barty. Well, there's the clock ticking up to 3. Not long to go now.
There's going to be some shaky hands, some sweaty palms. But what a treat this is to have so many people that have used golf as a force in their own lives coming back to the home of golf, to St Andrews. And we're just about ready to get underway. It's a pleasure to have your company here today for the celebration of champions at St Andrews. The weather's turned it on for us. Just a light breeze off the right, down 18. There's the first over on the left. It's the 4-hole matches are just about ready to get underway as we tick past 3 p.m. local time. Tee time's about to get underway. And so here is the format of what's ahead of us today. Golfers will play in teams of 4 with the best 2 gross scores counting on each hole. And the team with the lowest total relative to par over the 4 holes will be declared the winners. There are 4 par 4s coming your way. The 1st, the 2nd, the 17th and the 18th. So technically a par 32 if that's your thing. But it's great to have you with us. Let's throw down to the first tee shot now. Iona Stevens there.
Hi, how are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to St Andrews, the home of golf, the week of the 150th Open, and today's celebration of champions. Thank you for being here. We have 10 wonderful groups taking to the links this afternoon, playing the 1st, the 2nd, the 17th, and the 18th hole. So with that, let's get across to our official starter, David Lancaster.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the celebration of champions. This is game number 1 on the tee from the USA, Collin Morikawa.
The Open week about to get underway. Rather fitting that the current champion should strike the first shot.
from England, Jess Baker.
She's a lovely character. Great to have her here. Might be a couple of deep breaths before this one.
I'll say one thing, she doesn't look that nervous, although I feel she should do. Hiding it well, I think.
Wasn't long ago she took the Women's Amateur Championship title. She's got some experience to draw on now.
Lovely.
On the team from Japan, Keita Nakajima.
The current world amateur #1. He's held it for the longest time. Overtook John Rahm and his previous record of 60 weeks. That was in March of this year. We're going to be seeing a lot of Keita Nakajima in the years to come.
Remember his namesake many years ago, Tommy, having big problems with the road hole bunker. Let's hope that doesn't happen to him. Beautiful drive.
On the team from Sweden, Anna Nordqvist.
The 35-year-old who took success at the LPGA Championship back in 2009 and Evian in 2017 at Carnoustie last year in the AIG Women's Open. One of the simplest swings in the game as well.
Her other half from not too far away from here, just across the water in Dundee. So this is fairly familiar territory for Anna. And the first match is underway. Grandstand fairly full. That will be full, I'm sure, as they welcome these teams back down in the other direction. Up Old Tom Morris, the final hole here at the Old Course. I think the beauty of this place also, Ali, is the fact it's never changed because it never really had to.
Why would you? As well, I think it's a test that still strikes fear in the heart of many as well, the golf course. So much of that dependent on what Mother Nature offers up. Here's the swing of Collin Morikawa.
4 magnificent rounds 12 months ago. And it was a classy open down there in Kent. Jordan Spieth, John Rahm were in the mix there. But this man saw them off with a quality of golf that was way beyond his young years. And I think he's shown that in his year as defending champion. He's been an outstanding player, yes, but more than that, an outstanding human being.
Zooming back down towards the range. You've played a couple of Opens here, haven't you?
78, which was Nicklaus, and the 84 were Seve. And I feel very privileged that you have been able to put the tee in the ground on the first tee at an Open at St Andrews. It's just different from the rest.
So we saw the range. Why don't we go down to Sir Bob Charles. Di Stewart is out alongside him, roving the range for us today.
I'm really happy to catch up with Sir Bob Charles on the range, winner of the Open Championship back in 1963 at Royal Lytham and St Anne's. And Sir Bob, tell us about your head cover because it reminds you of the year.
Well, just in case I forget, you see, and we've got a left-handed golfer, the silhouette of the left-handed golfer, and the year now, which is almost 63, is almost 60 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was all black and white in those days. No colour like today, but no, I've got a record of it. BBC, they did kindly gave me their version the final day of the event. So that was the I guess the crown on my career was winning the Open. I was fortunate, had a successful career and won a lot of tournaments, but that of course is the one that meant the most.
And as a left-handed golfer, what is it like playing the old course here in St Andrews?
Well, didn't really favour my game because I was, in my youth, I was a left to right player, and all the troubles on the right on this golf course, as you're probably aware of. And but fortunately, I was able to control the ball reasonably well. I've had my record here at St Andrews is not that great, but it's. I love the golf course. It's my favorite. It's unique and it's different, and to come back to the home of golf for this occasion is kind of special. And I don't know that I'll be getting back here again in the future at the age of 86. I guess the next Open here is going to be a little ways off, and so Gary Player I'm looking at over there, and we're both 86. He's 5 months older than me. Actually, he's got the advantage there.
86 years young, we're saying.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, I have fond memories of being here 7 years ago when Arnold Palmer and Peter Thompson were both 86. And my one wish today is that I can get over the burn in 2 shots.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Into this wind, it might be a bit of I might have to lay up short of the burn.
Listen, you are so talented, and we can't wait to see you play this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, nice chatting with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. One of the best putters ever to be seen in the game. Let's go down to 1. There's Jess Baker. So out following alongside this group today in the opening 4-ball is Rich Beam. Afternoon, Rich.
Well, good afternoon. Yes, Jess was a little bit chuckling after that second shot. Certainly nerves part of it, but what an opening tee shot for her. With Keita and Collin perfectly placed down the center of the fairway. A little club twirl after this shot. It's all over it.
What a way to start for Keita Nakajima.
An early glimpse of a sensational talent.
Yeah, he's seemingly destined for greatness, isn't he? Did a little read up on his bio, and whew, the kid can flat out play. So can this young man. It must have been awfully difficult to give back that claret jug earlier today.
Just to let you know, Keita, I'm the Open champion. Tucking one in alongside him there too. Excellent second shots.
So a couple of birdie chances for Team Morikawa. Remember, the best 2 gross scores on each hole out of the 4 count, and 2 good looks there.
Okay. Here or there?
There's Jordan Spieth
Where the tees are.
on the right. This is the group of Spieth, Calcavecchia, Juan Postido, Arche, and Ian Baker Finch. And there's Mark there. It was another historic moment that came in 1989. That was when the playoff game changed.
Bag today. Are you really?
Troon was the setting for Mark Calcavecchia's Open win in 1989.
He's enjoying that.
The American emerging victorious from the Open's first ever 4-hole playoff.
And right in the middle.
Calc birdied the 72nd hole to force his way into extra time with Australian duo Greg Norman and Wayne Grady.
Oh, sweet shot. And some strokes.
In the Open's first ever 3-way playoff, Calcavecchia went on to win by 3 shots.
Mark Calcavecchia is the Open champion for 1989.
The year before, Mark was denied by Sandy Lyle's dramatic birdie from the fairway bunker on the final hole at the Masters, but he did not have to wait long to become a major champion.
It was the first ever 4-hole playoff.
You saw one of the great open shots over at the 12th there when the ball went in without touching anything else but the side of the flag. And that was the foundation of his great victory all these years ago at Royal Troon.
Do you know how old I am? 30 seconds, everybody. I don't do TikTok.
Keeping it light down there on the first tee.
I do Instagram when I've got something special. I'll post a few photos.
Talking about social media. This place has seen some things, hasn't it, St Andrews, over the years. Looks like they're ready to go now. So let's throw down to our announcer at the first to get the 3:14 group underway.
This is game number 2. On the tee from the USA, Jordan Spieth.
David Lancaster there. One of the most electric players in golf. No question about that. And he proved that back in 2017.
That was one dramatic afternoon, and his play over the closing 5 holes was phenomenal.
Yeah, that'll do.
On the tee from the USA, Mark McCormack.
Regardless of this time.
He's had to leave his 2 doggies at home. He's here with his wife Brenda this week, enjoying retirement. And well earned.
Really, mate. Shot. David does a lot of stuff with God and a lot of
On the tee from Spain, Juan Postigo.
He is the world number 3 in the world rankings for golfers with a disability. Plays on the G4D Tour as well, which has been making its way around the globe the last 12 months.
Swept away, quite superb. And long, cracking tee shot.
Nice drive. Thank you. Perfect. That was awesome. What's about for the play?
On the tee from Australia, Ian Baker Finch.
Don't think he needs reminding. He hasn't got great memories of this opening tee shot. Having tried to go down the left-hand side and give himself an angle in, he's overdid it a little and bounded out over Granny Clark's wine, out of bounds. But that was many years ago. Hopefully he's forgotten that by now.
Yep, beautiful. All right. Thank you.
The man still got it. Has gone on to have an incredible broadcasting career as well. He's going to have a life in this great game.
Healthy hit from the champion of 91. Amazing final round that turned out to be. Birdied 5 of the first 7 holes at Royal Birkdale. I remember his young daughter was in his arms when he received the claret jug, and she thought the microphone was an ice cream and wanted to take that away. It's a long time ago, but some images never leave you.
So this for birdie for Collin Morikawa at the opening hole. He's 1 from 1. That's not a bad way to start your defence campaign, albeit 3 days early.
I think there's a few more of them in his locker.
It just holds such a sense of occasion, the Open. I remember driving past my first one in 2016 at Troon, and it looked like the Quidditch World Cup with all of the stands out almost in the middle of nowhere. It's 2 birdies for Morikawa and the rest of his team. There's Nakajima there So they're 2 under through 1. Good start, Ewan.
Yeah, and if they keep that up, they could post a target that might be quite difficult for the rest to match coming behind them. But there's so much talent in the teams today that we'll see plenty of birdies, I'm sure.
Well, he was 2 over after the first 2 rounds back in 1991. It was a blistering weekend's play that saw Ian Baker Finch raise the claret jug.
Royal Birkdale was the venue for Ian Baker Finch's major moment. The Australian was 2 over after 2 rounds in a tie for 28th place. But rounds of 64 and 66 on the weekend guided him to the top of the leaderboard. In an inspired final round, Baker Finch birdied 5 of the first 7 holes as he closed out a 2-shot win over nearest challenger Mike Harwood. Such joyful moments will be forever etched in Australia's sporting memories.
Some lovely moments there.
Par 4 second, 452 yards for the Champions Challenge. Further right you go, the easier the second becomes, but you've got to try and hang on to the fairway. So he's going to need a good line, and control of the second there probably taken out of his hands.
So Nakajima, opening birdie for him. That's the sign you want to see. It is a seriously good golf swing as well. He works with Gareth Jones, who's an Australian that takes care of most of Japan's golf team. Travels over, works with Nasahata Oka as well.
That's a massive tee shot. It's over the spectator walkway, and they always put them in a position they don't think the players will reach. Back at the first, the approach of Jordan. Delectable.
Straight past it there, Jordan Spieth. Delighted to say I'm now flanked by 2 Scots as well. Andrew Coulthard's joined us. Afternoon, Andrew.
Thanks very much. Afternoon, Alison. Yeah, very nice. Golf course looks a little bit crispy already. Only the first day here.
Little puff of sand coming up at impact. See, you never lose it.
Oh, fine margin there. Not sure I've ever called you, Andrew.
I get called a lot worse. Put it that way. Put it that way. I was actually talking to Calc on the practice ground earlier on when I was running around doing a list of various things, and it was his clubs haven't arrived. So he's had to borrow somebody's clubs. There's obviously terrible trouble in the travel industry. They're all over the place, and another set has gone missing.
You can do this.
Golden brand turf. Wind out of the southwest for this opening day of the Open Week. Picked up nice and clean. Lovely. Beautiful second.
But the swing hasn't changed really that much over the years, has it? It's still unbelievable that he missed this opening tee shot many years ago.
It's Juan Postillo, Arche. Coming in hot. Like I said, he used to play with a prosthetic and then adapted his game, felt he was more mobile without it. Certainly puts a good move on it. Why don't we head back to the first team with another guest here this time round. It's Henrik Stenson. That should be fun.
Thank you, Ali. Yes, Henrik, great to see you here. How special to be a part of this celebration?
Of course, it's very special. I mean, given that we managed to win this championship, it's always very special to come back and play in it again, and doing it for the 150th here at St Andrews doesn't make it any less special, that's for sure.
Now, in 2016, when you were crowned Champion Golfer of the Year, the final round, it sort of became a bit like a match play situation. It's etched in our minds. Do you think that played to your advantage on the day because you're such a strong match player?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, it can certainly help. I mean, I've always liked to know what I need to do, and when you end up in a match play situation, it's right there in front of you, and if your opponent hit it to 10 feet, you want to hit it to 8 feet. If he makes the putt, you certainly want to make yours. So Phil and I were just kind of, you know, trading blows all the way around, and yeah, it was very special for me to not just win the Open, but to do it in that fashion. So that certainly makes it even more memorable.
And it's very special to have you back here in St Andrews. So enjoy this afternoon, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. We will for sure.
A man, a character as well, and an incredible player, Henrik Stenson. He is the Ryder Cup captain as well this time round. Great to have him here, as well as your company for the celebration of champions.
I was looking for it. A little bit more.
It's a lovely way to start the week, isn't it, Ewan? Nice and light team format as well.
It surely is, and all the memories come flooding back to you. Henrik talking about that titanic battle he had with Phil Mickelson. And, you know, JB Holmes was third. He was 13 or 14 shots behind Stenson. That's how far ahead Mickelson and Stenson were. It was a classic confrontation between two very fine golfers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, ready. Yep. At the 2, you like that? Yes, I do. Kind of use that little bank.
Yeah, he's got a decent lie over here in the right-hand rough. Going to the 2 is, oh, good 35, 40 feet left of where that flag is.
Sit.
My word. What's that like from back there, Ewan?
Not good. He can use the bank on the right of the hole there if he wants to bring the ball back, but if he's got a decent lie, I'm sure he'll conjure up something.
Let's head back to the first. It's going to be Henrik Stenson, as we understand, to play away.
This is game number 3.
Good luck. Good luck.
On the tee from Sweden, Henrik Stenson.
Henrik, you're in front of the mark. Okay. We can move in the mark. Yeah, you're in front. You are.
It'd be a fun team captain to have.
What is it? That's 2? 2 out of 4.
No doubt just trying to keep his playing partners loose down there at the opening hole.
All there.
On the tee from the Cayman Islands, Aaron Jarvis.
Pretty special story. The winner of the Latin American Amateur. And making golf in the Cayman Islands known around the world, and trying to grow it there is a huge goal for Aaron Jarvis.
Yes, he's going to be the Pied Piper think, in the future for his country. Justin Arden, ball back in the stance. Yeah, just driving that low, chasing it up the first fairway. Letting the ground doing the work for him.
On the tee from Germany, Jennifer Strager.
She played the Diversity Cup, which was played at the same site as the Solheim Cup in 2019 at Glen Eagles. She's 21. She was born with achondroplasia, which is commonly called as short stature. She's got shorter arms and shorter legs, but a longer body. So she says, in terms of how that affects her golf, she doesn't quite have the arc that other people do. But a serious golfer. Plays off single figures.
Skips one over Granny Clark's wind. That's never a bad thing down the left-hand side of the first. It opens up the green for the second.
From the USA, Mark McCormack.
What a year 1998 was for Amira. Masters Champion Golfer of the Year. 2 majors in just a few months.
Special moment, lovely shot. Something you get the opportunity to do every day. There used to be a bunker down the middle of this fairway. Did you know that?
I didn't realise you were that old, Andrew.
Well, I don't know why I looked at you when I said there used to be a bunker. Do you realise that? Yeah. Yeah, they caught me by surprise when I read up on that.
You might be surprised when you looked at me. I wasn't. Up at the green, Spieth. See if he can manage a birdie 3.
And like Georgia Hall has won.
Frustrating day yesterday for Spieth. Final round at the Renaissance.
Yeah, essentially. I was just going to say that. Yeah, he was so involved through the first 13 holes. Had a really good chance to put some heat on. Came up shy with a tee shot on 14. It was just the wrong place at the wrong time. Double bogey resulted, and he knew that was his chance gone, and he just sort of coaxed it home from there. But good sign still from Spieth.
Nice opening par for IBF, as he's affectionately known, as we skip forward to the second.
Nice pin on the second. You don't really see it over there very often. Use some of the contours to feed it down and round, and well, Anna's maybe done better than that. Yes, she has.
Hi, Jordan. Thank you.
Absolutely flush.
Jordan, thank you.
Worth another look.
Caught the downslope, then the upslope. Seen these go in, and it was bang on line with the pin. Hit the pin right in the middle. And that's
Jordan,
going to be a fine birdie.
Her husband, Kevin, there on the bag. The Scot himself. Back to the tee with Jordan Spieth.
I'm trying to think whether you can see Cheap's bunker from that tee. There used to be a pile of gorse just in front of the tee. They've taken out so much gorse around this golf course over the years, opened it up tremendously.
James Cheap was a landowner here, and it was him who saved the links for golf from rabbit farming. I don't know if you remember that.
You were around, I told you were around in those days.
Well, Tim Barter, I should say, is our man down on the ground out there, and he's drawn up alongside Jordan Spieth to have a chat.
I remember just hitting the reset button there thinking, pressure's off now. You know, he has the lead. Now he has to close it out. Why don't you go out there and force him to? And honestly, I don't really take pictures many places I go. I kind of just try and take them in. But I just turned back off the first tee and looked back towards the 18th green, and it's just like, it's always an amazing spectacle, the 18th at an Open Championship. But you turn back at St. Andrews and you see the town and the buildings and just the massive grandstands there, and there's nothing like it in golf. And so I took out my phone, took a picture right away, sent it home. So it's obviously one of a kind here.
When you won this championship in 2017, you produced the most incredible finish that we've ever seen. After an adventurous 13th hole, you then finished birdie, eagle, birdie, birdie, par. When you think back to that, what are your impressions of it? What do you remember about it? Anything?
I mean, I guess what I remember first is the time it took and kind of how bad I felt on the 13th hole for just trying to get a ruling and stuff like that, and obviously the mess that hole was. But I remember I went to the restroom in between there and the 14th tee, and I mean, it took long enough that I think everybody probably had to go at that point. But I remember just hitting the reset button there, thinking, pressure's off now. You know, he has the lead now. He has to close it out. Why don't you go out there and force him to? And for whatever reason, I was able to kind of turn around and hit a really nice 6-iron on 14 and gain the momentum back. And I remember the 18th hole, just walking up to the green, being like, "Wow, I can't believe this last hour and a half, like what just happened," and lagged one up there to, about like that, and that's about as nice and easy as it gets there to win a major championship. So it didn't really hit me for quite a while after, just given all the emotions that went through me that day.
Really appreciate your time. Enjoy today.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks.
When you listen to Morikawa and Spieth, you feel very privileged that they're at the top of our sport. Beautiful words from Jordan there.
Here's the birdie putt for Keita Nakajima, just on the low side. So after recording 2 birdies on the first, looks like it'll be pars down the second. This is Aaron Jarvis.
Nice swing, isn't it? Nice balance to it, even tempo, similar way back than it was all the way through.
Only one golf course in the Cayman Islands. He travelled over to the US in Florida, kind of learnt the game there under the watchful eye of David Ledbetter. But he hopes it grows.
Now this is the sort of birdie putts that everyone that plays this game would like. Easiest of threes from Anna, given the quality of her second. And what a start from this team.
There we go. So Anna's got it. She's got you covered, Colin. And a great birdie 3 there too after hitting the pin. Yeah, 3 under through 2.
Just short a cheap spunker. Just an amazement at that. That is outstanding.
I remember when I saw him hit a ball for the first time, it was at the Australian All Abilities Championship at the Lakes about 5 years ago. And you actually, you don't realise from behind that he's only got one leg. There's nothing you can see in the golf swing. It is absolutely pure. He's born without it. And he's built a great life for himself in the game, travelling the world. Juan Postigo Arche, the world number 3. You could almost say it in just 6 words, couldn't you? Northern Ireland, Royal Portrush, and Shane Lowry.
He couldn't, could he? He very nearly did. Shane Lowry is the Open champion. The return of the Open to Royal Portrush has been an absolute triumph. And just to set the seal on an unforgettable week, an Irishman. has won in Ireland.
Such emotional scenes, even 3 years later, it still gives you goosebumps as you remember what a wonderful championship it was in 2019.
When the Open returned to Irish soil for the first time since 1951. I don't think anyone could have imagined it would end like that, but we're very glad it did.
This is game number 4. On the tee from England, Dame Laura Davis.
The Dame. There's no one like the Dame.
Believe it or not, she's nervous. She told me earlier she's nervous.
Get in there, girl.
Perfect.
On the tee from Ireland, Shane Lowry.
The pictures you saw a few moments ago at Royal Port Rush, more images will never leave you if you were there to see that live. With his caddy, Bo from the north and Shane from the south, United Ireland. Things that followed that were quite extraordinary.
Yeah, I followed him. Called his match out there on the Saturday, and the whole of Royal Port Rush was rocking in the last few holes.
On the tee from England, Jack Bigham.
Won his R&A Boys Amateur Championship at Royal Cinque Ports in August. Had to go into extra holes over Riccardo Fantinelli. A great young talent to watch.
Not wasting any time. Spanking that one down the middle.
Yeah, that's a new thing, isn't it? Not the down the middle bit, but not wasting any time.
So off they go. I think all three of us are fortunate enough to call Damo, as she likes to be called, Laura Davies, a friend. She'll be an entertaining player out there to have today.
Up ahead at the green. Yeah, lovely pace from Jarvis. I've had a couple of games for the Dame, as we call her. She's very much part of the Sky Sports team now. Liphook, she lives around that area, some lovely sandbelt courses there, and she can still play, I promise you.
Through the back, Jordan Spieth. That one's just crept on. So 2 pars recorded for Team Spieth on the opening hole. More to come there at 2, back to 1.
One of the first players to use what they call the saw putting grip, as palm is facing his stomach. The fingers are looking at the target, and it worked so well for him later on in his career, and still having some fine performances on the Champions Tour as well. Still enjoys his golf, Mark. It's been a long career and a very successful one.
Postigo Arche.
How about that? What a 3. What a 3. It was great. Played it beautifully right from beginning to end. Finished it off with the birdie. Look at that. I beat Jordan Spieth in a hole.
So out in the next group, could almost call them the classics, couldn't you? And one of the players is Sandy Lyle, the 1985 champion, and you can see him there alongside Iona Stephen again.
Well, Sandy, great to see you here. Thanks for the blether. What a week to be a Scotsman. You must feel very proud.
And we've got good weather too, which is even better, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's a spectacular thing. I mean, 150 years for the Open. This is more the entertainment side on the Monday afternoon. I'm looking forward to playing 4 holes. About my limit, actually, 4 holes at the moment.
Well, we know that's not true. You still play the old course. You come across from the west to the east quite regularly, I believe, to play the Old Girl.
Yeah, I do, yes. I'm only about 80 miles from here, so I play with James Bunch, and he's off +3, so we have a good challenge match there. And then every September they have a big match over here, which is the RNA against the Townies, and that's a town match. And I thought when I first sort of signed up to this thing, it'll probably be about 40 people and da-da-da-da, and there was something like 700 had played over 3 courses, and we played 2 rounds of golf as well. So at the end, it's either the RNA win or the Townies. So it's been going for 100 odd years.
And who won?
Well, a few times when I've been for the RNA, they've managed to win. We've turned the tide a little bit, I think, at the moment.
Well, we were half expecting to see some hickory clubs in your golf bag today, because we understand you're quite a fan of the old hickories.
I love it. Yeah, I like the challenge of the playing hickory clubs and just have a little feel. It's a little bit like the tennis players going back to the wooden rackets and things, and how it felt and how the ball reacted after the wooden rackets. So the golf ball now really behaves itself pretty good with even with the hickories. But if you use the old golf ball with the hickories, they don't go very far at all, about 220 yards with a driver, which is not long enough for some of these big courses these days.
No, it certainly isn't. Well, listen, it's lovely to see you here. Yeah. Thanks for the chat and enjoy this afternoon.
Right.
Thank you.
He was talking about a chap called Jamie Bunch there. Jamie Bunch was out coaching or teaching the ways round this golf course. Will Zalatoris, interesting enough, this morning. So he's a cracking golfer, is young Bunch.
Iona makes me nervous, you know, her enthusiasm down there. I mean, she's just born to be in that job. You can see the joy in her face and how the players enjoy talking to her as well. And I remember playing with Sandy Lyle up at Skibo a bit late on in the evening with the hickories, and believe me, he's as good with them as he is with steel.
You can see the years listed there for Mr. Gary Player, as he's known, a trio of wins in the Open Championship for one of the most iconic names in worldwide golf.
Gary Player is the oldest living Open champion. His first success came in 1959 as he surprised the odds to win by 2 shots at Muirfield.
Want to have to win the Open Championship.
The South African had to wait 9 years for Open win number 2. It was sealed at Carnoustie.
And there's the winning streak for Player. The champion golfer for the Gary Player. Hey, Gary, please. Hey, Gary, give it a kiss, baby.
Some of the fashion has stayed the same, the black. Some of it has left us. Ewan?
He's a little sad this week. It's the first Open Championship without his wife Vivian, who passed away a few months back. But he says she's here in spirit, and he's looking forward to the week.
Unfortunately, this is his third. Drew a horrible lie. I think he was in a rabbit hole down the left-hand side. Trying to chase this next one up there.
Yeah, I like where they got these pins nice and friendly for something as enjoyable as this.
Any memories down 17 for you, Colty, that you want to share?
Yeah, not very many are that nice actually. Yeah, well, no, yeah. Well, look, except when you wake up in the morning already screaming, you know, and with cold sweats, worried about the road bunker. Until you get past that, you can never really sort of relax.
Second on the way of Lowry, right at it. Superb control.
Just delightfully played.
third shot we're hearing, so certainly creates a better angle for himself to try and get it up the tier. Misjudged it, really. Should have done better from there, but we're having a little look at the rough earlier on. It's wispy, but a lot of the stuff down the bottom is quite juicy and quite thick, and it caused some problems.
Jack Bigham. Wouldn't this be something? Birdie. Maybe just a little tentative there. When you're feeling the nerves, Colty, 9 times out of 10 you come up short.
Oh, of course, you know, you get a little line away too much and forget to hit it. But when you're in such exalted company around a place like this, it's very easy to just not quite feel yourself.
I don't think Dame Laura knows how to be anyone else. Very nearly an opening 3.
Had a wonderful experience last month with Dame Laura, as Dame Laura was driving in Boston. Eyes shut. My eyes were shut. She's got a little touch of the Lewis Hamiltons in there. She's not scared of a bit of speed, I'll tell you.
She does have quite a penchant for fast cars, doesn't she?
She's got Jamie Weir in the bag as well. He's did a wonderful little TV show called The Open Road Trip, which is well worth a watch. A lot of fun did making that. Body try for Lowry at the first.
Ideal start.
Scene, isn't it? Just looks beautiful. Look at the lovely emerald green greens and the burnt crispy fairways.
Between 3 of these 4 players at least, I imagine they've made many a trip here. Be good to count them all up. Mr. Player, ready to play.
This is game number 5. On the tee from South Africa, Gary Player.
A quick 750 balls, 500 press-ups, and Gary's ready to go. Steady on, slow down.
On the tee from New Zealand, Sir Bob Charles.
Do you know, I remember playing with Bob Charles back in the 70s, and one of his ambitions was to live until he was 125. No one has ever looked after themselves better than Sir Bob, but looking at him at 86 years of age, he might well achieve it.
It's not bad, is it? Gets it further back than I do now.
Well, as I said, no one's looked after himself better
Scotland,
than Sir Bob Charles.
Sandy Lyle.
That evening we played a ski boat. It was a masterclass for the Hickories with Sandy Lyle. It's all about timing. Got bogged down a little, I think, in the middle of his career with theory, when he was such a natural player. Winning the European Open in '79 at Turnberry, and he was on his way.
Yeah, he's a lovely man. I think he's going to struggle today though, because he doesn't have the waterproof jacket on.
You think it reached it, Sandy?
That's Monique Kolkman. She was a 4-time Paralympic champion.
On the tee from the Netherlands, Monique Kolkman van den Bosch.
She's done it in tennis, table tennis, and has this wheelchair that's been adapted so that she can explore the love of golf. Now in her 50s, she has her own foundation as well called Going for Golf. Gives back to the game any way she can. Such an unbelievable athlete. cancer in her spine as a teenager. But she's built her life around sport.
Fantastic.
There's some stories, some memories in that group. The group of player Charles, Lyle and Kolkman. They're away. Let's hear in her own words perhaps how the game of golf and the dream that came along with it changed the life of Monique Kolkman.
My life story is about a girl who has a dream and makes that dream come true. I just had to tweak that dream. Once I got to the hospital, they put me on an MRI, and then they saw there was a bad tumor pressing against my spine. After the operation, the doctor came to me and he said, "You'll never walk again." The process of hitting a golf ball from a paragolfer is completely different, I think, to an able-bodied player. My full swing, I hit with one hand because I have to hold on with my left hand, and because I can't rotate the hips, because I can only move from here. At this moment, I'm trying to get golf be the next sport in which kids can have a dream. That same dream that also has saved my life.
She won Paralympic gold medals, first in table tennis when she was just 19 at the 84 Games, won gold medals in tennis as well in successive Paralympics in 92 and 96. She was the world #1 for 6 years. And then golf came next. Settle. Still plays any sport with such ferocity. Her enthusiasm is contagious as well. An incredible competitor in whatever she does. Let's go to 17 with Nakajima. Up and over. Pretty good from there. Let's go back down to 1. It's not like Gary player to love a chat.
He's got his good friend David King on the bags, the chairman of Rangers Football Club. In Scotland, they've travelled the world many a time, playing in events all over. Good golf on his own right, Dave King. But here's the master. Now does he see it?
He's still got it. The chat, the game. Ernest Stevens found another guest. And this time it's Aldrick Potgieter, who she saw get his victory not long ago.
I certainly did, Alison. I was there watching Aldi take the crown of the amateur champion. Aldi, it's great to see you here. What a year you are having. Just months ago, you had never played links golf. You came across to the UK on a trip with your South African buddies. You picked up the title at the amateur championship, and now here you are about to tee off on the old course in the week of the 150th Open. You must be pinching yourself.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable journey so far. Just thinking about 5 weeks ago, playing junior events, and then like that, bang, on the Open, and yeah, seeing the crowds out here, it's been amazing so far.
And you've got an infamous stinger in the locker. How useful do you think that's going to be this week?
Yeah, definitely. If the wind picks up, I heard on Thursday it might be blowing, so hopefully that's definitely in the bag. Yeah.
And have you been wandering around looking at all these heroes and icons and kind of thinking, goodness me, here I am?
Yeah, it's nice to meet all of the top players in the world. Seeing Tiger play a few holes the other day was pretty nice to see him, and yeah, I've been blown away so far.
And have you got some family with you?
Yeah, I've got mum, dad and sister with me, and a couple of friends. So it's nice to have them not be homesick for a couple of weeks again. So yeah, that's pretty nice.
Oh, Aldi, they must be so proud of you, and we're so looking forward to watching you play this week. Congratulations on all you've achieved so far, and enjoy this afternoon.
Thank you, thank you.
Incredible when he became the youngest winner of the amateur since Matteo Manassero, actually, wasn't it, back in 2009. Let's go up to Jennifer Schrager.
That's all right if it climbs over there. Yeah, look at that. Clever. Using the contours. A wonderful shot.
They're going to remember every single one of these shots, aren't they? How special the occasion is, the celebration of champions. And always such a remarkable setting.
Your mate next.
It's a pleasure to have you with us here at St Andrews, wherever you're joining us from around the world. And while we have a moment, let's remind you of the format. Golfers will play in teams of 4 with the best 2 gross scores counting on each hole, and then the team with the lowest total relative to par over those 4 holes will be declared the winners. It's the 1st, 2nd, 17th and 18th. They're all par 4s, so technically a par 32. And it's team, well, I was going to say Morikawa, but there's a couple that are catching up. Lead the way, there they are. How cool is that? Jess Baker, Keita Nakajima, Anna Nordqvist, all 4. They led the way just after 3 p.m. this afternoon. And that's a photo that's going straight to the mantelpiece, I think. All of them champions in their own right. They have a few pictures there already.
Cotman's 4th shot here into the 1st.
Not the start she was looking for, but plenty more holes to go. Here's Henrik Stenson for his birdie at 2. The captain rocks it in. And there's a man that needs no introduction, but we'll do it anyway. Tiger Woods on the putting green. Ali Whitaker in the commentary box. Alongside me is the Scot, Andrew Coulthard, and American Aaron Oberholzer in here as well. Great to have your company, Aaron.
Thank you so much for having me. Such
a thrill having Tiger Woods back here at the 150th edition of the Open. A man you've watched a lot throughout the years.
I have. I actually played college golf with Tiger when I was at San Jose State.
He was at Stanford, and we were the 1 and 2 ranked golfers, college golfers in the country at the time. I'll give you a guess at who number 1 was and who number 2 was.
See, someone's worded you up that we're a little cheeky, and you know that Coltart's probably throwing that at you next.
And you know, how are you getting on now? Then, how are you thinking? How are you thinking about things?
Well, let's just say he's done well for himself, for sure.
Great shot there from Jordan Spieth, coming back at 17.
Just hitting off the left here with this one.
Getting used to the speed of these greens, I would say, would be a challenge. The guys have been telling me for the last couple of days that they're maybe just a slight bit slower than they're used to.
Yeah, it's they're basically just circles cutting the edge of the fairways. Yeah. There's not a special kind of grass, and because of obviously the links conditions, as you know, Aaron, and as we had last week, there's got to be a lot more grass on them, because if it gets windy, the balls just blow right off them. So that's why it's a little slower.
That was for birdie for Postigo Arche, the man from Santander. Not to be for Shane Lowry. I'll remember his victory in the Horizon Irish Open back in 2009 as an amateur. Back to 17 with Baker Finch.
And this man, probably one of the greatest putters that the world's ever seen. And of course, I say that, and he comes up a little short. It was online, though, Ian. It was online.
Still swinging it well, Alan. A nice tee shot off the first. I know he's had a bit of history of that tee shot.
Loves the game, loves to still play. Told me that he plays 3-4 days a week at his home club in Florida. Just loves it, loves it.
A nice tee shot here from Jess. All the way down the left-hand side. Just a nice little pitch up there. Should take a couple of quick hops and come to attention. Just had a smile on her face the entire way around.
Oh, back down it drifts.
Can she be inspired by Konstantina Rocca back in 1995?
So a couple more to come there at 18. In the meantime, apparently we're hearing this is for par for Sandy Lyle at the first.
Coming through this little valley right there, back up. Oh, did he do it? My goodness. Phenomenal effort. You can get some pretty long putts out here.
If you can get through this tournament without having a 3-putt, you've done well.
Unbelievable. You've done extremely well.
And defending champion, nice tee shot here at the last, putting a new wedge into his repertoire this week. A little bit less bounce after last week. Yeah, that'll work 8 days a week.
Pretty tidy stuff from the team captain, Morikawa. You see that quite a bit, don't you, boys? The manufacturers' trucks getting a lot of requests for less bounce on the wedges, especially on links turf.
Yeah, I think so. I remember changing wedges when I came over here and going with a little less bounce. But it's funny. It's a double-edged sword to a certain extent, because the bunkers are so soft that you'd like to have that bounce. So you have to find a happy medium to a certain extent.
He's having a little bit of fun out there.
This is game number 6. On the tee from the USA, Bill Rogers.
The Open champion in 1981. Just a fairway medal.
Rhythm hasn't changed much.
Kind of like riding a bike for these guys.
On the tee from South Africa, Aldrick Potgieter.
Great to hear his thoughts before he went out there. It was a 3-2 victory in the end over Sam Bairstow, who fought back.
Beauty.
And he's exempt through this week. What a special week it'll be.
Yeah, we'll play the Masters as well.
On the tee from Italy, Filippo Celli.
European amateur champion. Trying to emulate Francesco Molinari. Of course, he's playing with the amateur champion. There was an Italian amateur champion not that long ago, Manacero. He started to play well again. One of the youngest winners ever on the DP World Tour.
He's the latest call-up as well, Celli. It was only last month when he won the European Amateur Championship in Spain, which sent him here. And what a journey to make. It's by far and away the biggest win of his amateur career so far.
Cricketer Kevin Peterson walking there with Potgieter down the first fairway. There's a tremendous amount of conservation, trying to save the Rhino.
Sandy Lyle on the second here. Not too far left. Hopefully. Oh, absolutely perfect.
I think it's interesting. I think they're going to get caught out with how much run they've got on these fairways.
A lot of run right now.
Yeah, this is back up the hill, maybe a little on the sluggish side, however.
Oh.
Good try, good putt.
Good player, stalwart of the Solheim Cup team as well.
You got to like her chances to repeat at Muirfield this year.
Yeah, you do. She's got a game that sets up very nicely for the AIG Women's Open.
Hope she gets the right side of the draw, because you know what it's like. You know what it's like in these situations. Pray for some balanced conditions.
So Tim's found a man that loves a chat. We've said it already. Mr. Gary Player is out with him now.
Gary, thank you so much for joining us. Let's have a little wander as we have a chat. 3 Open Championship victories in 3 different decades. You've played 46 Open Championships, a record of anyone. What makes this championship so special? Who better than you to tell us?
Well, it's the greatest championship in golf, without a doubt. For the simple reason, historically, I mean, if you go into the clubhouse here at St Andrews, the Royal and Ancient, home of golf, started in 1754. It's mind-boggling. And you think what the RNA has done for golf across the world and the great champions that have come to play in this championship. Ben Hogan coming once, winning it once at Carnoustie, Arnold Palmer coming here, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, Tom Watson, Bobby Jones, Sam Snead, Bobby Locke, you can go on forever and ever. And the thing about what makes this so great, if you go and play in South Africa, America, or Australia, I can not even look at the flag. And I can say to my caddy, what's the yardage? He says 150. I said, give me an 8-iron. Well, you know, Tim, you can hit an 8-iron, 5-iron, 3-iron, or a sand wedge. So it brings out the judging, the feeling of the game. You play shots where you're 100 yards from the green with a 7-iron and keep it this low. You just don't do that anywhere else. This is the ultimate test. You have to trust instinct to the end, though it render no reason. And I've repeatedly said this. It's just something very special. And when you come here and you think of all the champions that have played on this golf course, and I've heard people say, well, the golf course is becoming obsolete, it's too short. What does it really matter? It doesn't matter if they shoot 460s. There's still got to be a winner, a second place and a third place, etc., etc. It's just the fact of being here. History, a game that we all love. It's enabled me to travel more miles than anybody that's ever lived. The education it's given me, the money we've been able to raise for charity, what this game has done across, make friends, it's just been an epic journey for me.
We appreciate your time as always. Keep enjoying the golf.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
A nice journey that we've been privy to and still are as well. This for the birdie at the last for Morikawa.
Well, well, they must have 2 in the hole already.
I was about to suggest that that looked like a new putter to me. It's about to become an old one, I think.
Yes, it's one that he's used in the past, but you're right. It might find the back of the closet. Oh, this is fantastic.
They're good? Yeah. All this way, please. Thank you. Gentlemen, this way, please. Thank you.
That's what the game's all about. Champions of past, present, future, all around the world coming together.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right. Good. Very good. Yeah.
Colty, did you ever get it? You didn't get a picture on the bridge, did you?
No, I didn't get a picture on the bridge. No, no, I was trying to get over there as quickly as I possibly could before anybody could catch us up. It's 700 years old, that bridge. It's almost the same age as you and Murray.
Talk us through what's ahead for Straga here, Aaron.
Well, it looks like she's got just coming up over that ridge. Flag's more towards the middle, but I don't think she caught that one as well as she'd like. Shouldn't have too difficult of a time with that next one coming up that ridge.
She works so hard in her short game and putting. So that's a rarity for Jennifer Straga. Iona's back at it again, this time with someone she knows very well. It's Catriona Matthew.
Catriona, great to see you here. We know you're teeing off in a minute. We don't want you to miss the tee time. But listen, you have been an inspiration and a role model for so many golfers in Scotland, men and women. And in your group today, you have Louise Duncan, who we know is a player that has been very much inspired by you. How much are you looking forward to playing with her today?
Yeah, really looking forward to playing with Louise. You know, I've been lucky enough to play with her 2 or 3 times and played a practice round with her last year at Carnoustie, where she played so well. So, yeah, it'll be really nice to catch up again with her.
And women's golf in general has been growing at an unprecedented rate in the last couple of years. Have you observed that, and how impressive has that been as well?
Yeah, I think it's been great. I mean, as you say, just these last couple of years with all the purses going up in the majors, which is great to see. Women's sport in general, I think, has really boomed in probably the last 10 years. So, you know, for golf to keep up with the pace is great.
And little Birdie told me that you have come around the side of the clubhouse here. You're an honorary member of the R&A Golf Club. So we are in Scotland, of course, but in St Andrews, you must feel like you're on home turf.
Yeah, it's great. I've been, you know, I member maybe about a year now, and I was fortunate enough to come up probably about 3 months ago and have a game. So it's fantastic, you know, to be able to come and have a game here.
A game at home. What about that? Well, thank you for chatting us just now, and we hope you enjoy this afternoon.
Thanks very much, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Twice winner of a Solheim Cup captain as well in 2019 and in 2021 as well on foreign soil that time round. First time it had been done.
Let's see what Gary Player's got here for us, coming up over that, using the ground. This is what he was just talking about. Look at that.
How long do you guys think it takes to get to know St Andrews to the point where you can actually really, you know, start to use it all?
I think that you need to see it in all kinds of conditions. The guys who are here for the first time, they're going to get lucky this week, I think. They're going to see it with one wind direction predominantly. I think going forward in future years, you could get a year potentially that you could see 3 or 4 different wind directions, and that's, I think, where the golf course really changes.
That is a great question. It takes years to get to know this golf course.
Yeah.
It plays so many different ways. The old saying, left is right, right is wrong, comes into play massively. You're walking up there, you see bunkers you didn't even know existed from one year to the next.
Postigo Arche.
It's interesting too, Andrew, because when it's almost as if on certain holes too, the right side favors a lot of the trouble. The trouble's a lot on the right side, obviously with the out of bounds and so on and so forth here at St Andrews. But that's in a lot of ways, the right-hand side gives you the best view of a lot of the greens. So you're forced, if you want good angles, you're forced to take on the trouble.
And that's why it's such a great design,
exactly.
Isn't it? If you want to stay away from that right, so you can, no problem
and
at
you
all.
can make pars all
but
day.
the shot in,
yes.
The ball falls away to the wrong sides of the greens. Yeah, no, it's a sensational layout. They used to play it back to front. Did you know that?
I did hear that.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, they used to go off the sort of first tee down to the 17th green and then 18th tee to the 16th green and that way around.
Second here for Ian Baker-Finch for Team Spieth. They'd love a birdie or two down the last, chasing by one.
Work.
This is game number 7. On the tee, from Scotland,
Back there,
Catriona
just
Matthew.
waiting for a club, perhaps.
It's going to be waiting for a while because I think they're in the hold at the airline. They didn't make it all the way over here, so I don't know whose set of clubs he's managed to get hold of.
I don't think Calc used to buy putters at local shops in the United States when he wasn't putting well, so I think he could play with anything.
There's the known swing of Catriona Matthew.
You know what she's called, Beanie?
I don't. I think was it her parents that gave it to her?
I'll tell you in a second.
On the tee, from Ireland, Padraig Harrington.
Champion Golfer of the Year in consecutive years as well.
He's also an honorary member of the Army, I believe. US Open Seniors Champion a couple of weeks ago. Sorry, Aaron.
Phenomenal what he's done. Tireless worker his whole career. Loves the process. Loves the process.
On the tee, from Scotland, Louise Duncan.
This was a name in headlines 12 months ago at Carnoustie. Hot off the back of her win in the women's amateur final, which she won 9 and 8 at Kilmarnock. She went to Carnoustie for her first ever professional event and top 10 at the AIG Women's Open.
She's a product as well of the great work that Dean Robertson does up at Stirling University. Tremendous golf coach, former DP World Tour player, winner of the Italian Open.
From Italy, Francesco Molinari.
So these two have a little to talk about Carnoustie.
Phenomenal win for Francesco at Carnoustie in 2018. Some of the shots he played down the stretch under that pressure.
Yeah,
starting to get his game back a little bit, Andrew.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, he's metronomic with that golf swing. I think it was a 6th at the Amex earlier on this season. And just, you know, life outside of the game, just trying to settle down a little bit, maybe finally decided on a place to settle down, and hopefully his golf can start coming back to the heights that it certainly was last few years.
So this for the par down the last for Aaron Jarvis. Just snags that left edge. Nice little fist bump there from Henrik Stenson.
Oh, did he get this? I thought he left him hanging. Did he get the fist bump? I thought it was even better he left him hanging. I thought that was good.
Oh, Jordan drove the green here. This for eagle.
Just like you said, it's because it's so slow and the green tilts right towards him. It's so hard to get it all the way back.
Like
Yeah,
putting up a wall from the left side of that green on 18. I think they're going to pick up some speed as the week goes on. And right now, it's so green out there. You can tell the difference between the fairways and the greens. I remember at 06 at Liverpool, I couldn't tell the difference between the fairway, where the fairway ended and the green began on a few holes.
it'll be interesting. I think the golf course, they're worried obviously about really low scores around here and the modernisation of the equipment and everything like that, and the old-style golf course. But I think if the weather continues in this nice vein, then hopefully those greens will firm out quite significantly. Oh, Lowry, Nick Faldo having a chat away yet.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall in that conversation.
No, that's for certain. Well, the Open Sunday in 1999 with Paul Lowry was one of the most dramatic, you could say, in modern golfing history.
In 1999, Paul Lowry made history as he produced the biggest final day comeback in a major. The Scot began the final round 10 shots behind the leader, Frenchman Jean van der Velde.
Come on, come on. Oh, yes.
The final round 67 was the best of the day in testing conditions.
Oh, he's rattled in a couple of good ones.
Lowry's efforts earned him a playoff spot with Jean van der Velde and Justin Leonard.
Another birdie opportunity. Well done, Paul.
And with the Scottish supporters roaring on their man, Lowry birdied 17 and 18 to get his hands on golf's most prized piece of silverware, Scotland and another Open champion.
And he's taken so many players under his wing, Paul Lowry, over the years as well.
I'll be introducing you then again.
Well and truly giving back to Scottish golf, Colty.
Yeah, he has been phenomenal up here in Scotland, doing a tremendous amount of work for all kinds of golfers up here, trying to get as many into the game as possible. Really encouraging, gives a massive giver of his own spare time.
Baker Finch, I think he's used to those green speeds back at home a little bit.
It's really nice that Mark's here and been given the opportunity to come and play, because he was going to make his swan song a couple of years ago, wasn't he? But then the pandemic came in and that stalled it.
Yeah, and the RNA granted him special permission to play in the 150. I thought it would be a nice way to close his career at the Open. That one just misses on the high side for Jordan Spieth. So it's pars at 17, pars at 18. They'll finish the day at 1 under. Currently 1 adrift from Team Davies. It must feel a little bit like a sprint out there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, it's great to see everybody with smiles on their faces, because that's exactly what it's to be about, and obviously not wasting too much time out in the golf course.
So if you're wondering why Team Morikawa fell back on 17, they had to count 2 bogeys, so it's a combined score of 10. So 2 under, 1 under, 2 over, and level puts them at 1 under par for their finishing total alongside Team Spieth. A man that's had a very good year so far. On the G4D Tour, Golfer Disability Tour, there's Kip Popert, who already has 2 victories out of 3 to his name in 2022. He's with Iona now.
Kip, thank you very much for joining us. I know you're about to get underway. You're a member of the G4D Tour and you're here today. You're a multiple winner. How much are you enjoying this atmosphere, Kip?
Yeah, I mean, I've always dreamt of playing in front of big crowds, and it's just going to be an awesome experience. I've got Tom Watson and other people I'm playing with, Stuart Sink, and I'll be picking their brains, and I want to get to this level one day, so
absolutely
I'll be a sponge.
Tell us about your disability.
So I was born with cerebral palsy, and the type's called spastic diplegia, and what that means is that the muscles in my lower half are very tight and contracted, so mobility and walking has always been a problem, and balancing my swing. But that's the good thing about golf, is once the ball's gone, it doesn't matter how you hold your finish. So.
What role has golf played in your life, Kip?
Yeah, massive. My dad started it when I was born. I've been playing it since I was 3. I was actually on the Open in 2001. There's a little video of me hitting when I was about 3.
Wow.
And this is what I've wanted to do my whole life. Golf has helped me do the physio. I've had 10 operations. So when I was going into hospital rooms and operations, it was this that was the motivating factor behind it. So it's awesome to be here.
Very inspiring, and Dad's on the bag today. Is there a more proud dad in the whole of St Andrews today?
I don't know. He's normally quite proud as it is, so it'll be awesome. But he's not allowed to use a rangefinder, so he'll be challenged. So it'll be good fun.
Good stuff, Kip. Lovely to chat to you, and enjoy this afternoon. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you. Brilliant. Cheers.
Yeah, that open moment coming at Royal Lytham and St Anne's, and starting that clip with Tiger Woods, and that was where he caught the bug. Something we've all done. Anyone that's made their way to St Andrews, you think, might just do it too. That down the last for Sraga.
Beautiful move there. That should look at the run that they're getting on these golf balls today. And it's just Monday.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to see some excessive runouts around this golf course. Obviously, we normally come here in September, October, a lot more rain on the ground, and it's a lot more lush.
This for birdie at the second for Sandy. Lyle in the left edge. So that'll help his team after they had a combined 9, 1 over par on the opening hole.
Thought he might have been wearing the braces. A little bit disappointed he's not got the braces on today.
Braces? Oh, suspenders. Suspenders?
No, we'll stick with braces. You might want to say suspenders. That's fine. I'm going to let Ali explain that one.
Oh, am I the mediator or am I the last counting vote? I'm trying to work out which way to play this. Braces. Only because Colty's sitting the closest to me.
I thought you might say that. That's the easiest get out.
It is what it's all about right there. Just fantastic.
Yeah, it's harder to see more genuine smiles on the face of golfers than in those photos there throughout the day.
Gotta say, I love these mixed teams. You get so many different varieties of.
And that's a great point, Andrew. Because I mean, you heard it from Podit. You're picking the brains of all these great players. You're getting different perspectives on life from so many different people. It's a fantastic thing that the RNA is doing with this celebration of golf here.
So next out to the tee is the group of Watson, Lowry, Popert and Sink. Just after 4:30 here this afternoon.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
This is game number 8. On the tee from the USA, Tom Watson.
I get to go first, huh?
You do get to go first, Tom.
I think it's only appropriate that a 5-time champion gets to go first.
Why are these guys hitting iron off?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Come on, put yourself in my position. I'm about to start a playoff with them and thinking, like, my chances here.
Yeah, this guy's been a hero of mine all his life, all my life. What a player. What a swing.
They're walking pretty close to where I could hit it.
Ever the gentleman.
Waiting for everybody, I think, coming down the 18th hole.
Yeah, this is indicative of what it's going to be like actually when the tournament gets underway for real. And unfortunately, it's a little bit of a slow walk round this venue.
Yes.
Not a lot. I'll play 9 this year, and then we've got some businesses that we run.
Sometimes more social than you'd like as well.
Well, everybody, lots of greens get shared. There's, you've got to wait till everybody puts out and eye lines and everything.
Then you got the loop. Well, do you go? Do you want me to go? Do you want me to go?
He's got the driver out.
Swing hasn't changed in 50 years. Oh, easy.
On the tee from Scotland, Paul Lowry.
Paul Lowry, 99 Open champion. Time Ryder Cupper.
Right down in the Crawford corner here. See, I've got the good angle into the screen.
We were just discussing that Open. Andrew, you played in that Open and how difficult it was to win that Open, and let alone, I guess, win it, play in it actually, let alone win it.
Yeah, I mean, getting it round the golf course and surviving was actually quite an achievement itself. Needed a stretcher walking off the 18th green.
Beautiful.
Suffered a wee bit from a foot injury, Paul, over the last few years. Just kind of held him back a bit.
On the tee from England, Kip Popert.
Good luck, Kip.
All right, Kip.
Now, what a moment for this young man. I can't think of 3 better gents to be playing with as well, to offer up all that information which he wants to absorb.
100%. Playing with 2 of the nicest men in the game.
Oh yeah, beauty.
Just tremendous. He'd have been nervous.
On the tee from the USA,
all these players,
Stuart Sink.
All these players have to be playing with these guys, all these Open champions.
Hey, what were you like when you first played with somebody you looked up to? I mean, tremendous.
The first time was Davis Love, and I was very nervous playing with Davis for sure. It was when I was in high school, a hero of mine for sure.
Very nice, Stuart.
Still very competitive. Stuart Sink, 2009 champion. A couple of wins last year on the PGA Tour.
Well, he found some speed late in his career and went from 165 ball speed to 175 ball speed. And you get 10 miles an hour like that, Andrew, I'll tell you what, you can start to compete again at his age.
Well, I think I'd probably have to have about 25 or 30 miles an hour, but
you and me both.
But I'll take the 10.
And we've just heard word that Paul Lowry will be hitting the opening tee shot here at the 150th Open on Thursday. That must be hard to put into words, I'd imagine.
No, what an honour that is. A great acknowledgement there from the R&A for the 99 Open champion, and I can absolutely categorically tell you that will mean so much to Paul Lowry.
So the man that'll lead us off. Brilliant from Paul Lowry. Let's catch up with Porrig Harrington while we have a moment. He's chatting to Tim.
Aldrick, thank you so much for joining us. Now, as kids, we all stand on the practice greens at our local clubs dreaming of holding the putt to win the Open. You've experienced it twice. How did the dream compare to the reality?
Clearly as a kid, this is the one, when we're this side of the water, we always think of the Open as the one to hold the winning putt. When I actually had it, I've got to say the one in Carnoustie was very routine. You know, it was it was 2.5 feet, something like that, and I stroked it in there like it was a tap-in. So yeah, that was kind of nice. I think the difference I'd have put to get in the, well, as it turned out, to get me in the playoff in Carnoustie on the 18th, and that was nothing like how you dreamed it as a kid. That was just sheer willpower and grit to get it in the hole. So it's one of those occasions. When my ball went in the hole in Carnoustie, and I know it only took milliseconds, but I actually had to look at the ball at the bottom of the hole, and in my head I was going, is that it? Is it done? As in, there was a moment to compute before, and I know it won't look like that on the camera. I celebrated straight away, but there was an actual moment. No, I've won, it's done, and that's it. So yeah, it is probably not quite how you dream about it, but it's certainly the thing as a kid that you do dream of doing.
Out here today we've got men, women, amateurs, professional, golfers of disability. Is that the beauty of our game, that you can all compete on the same golf course at the same time?
Yeah, it's a fantastic game that you can play. You know, if you start playing at 10 years of age now, you're likely to play for 90 years. And think about it, the kids at 10 will live to 100 and keep playing golf. It extends your active life by 8 years, golf does. I know Bob Rotella, who obviously I work with, psychologist, he has played golf with his father, his daughter and his grandson. So 4 generations playing in the 1-4 ball. Where else would you get a sport like it?
You believe you can win this, don't you?
Look, I'm going to give credit to Shane Lowry for this, because he said it one day. He says, you know, Harrington, you believe you're going to win a tournament that you're not even playing in.
We'll wish you luck the rest of the way. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
That is brilliant, and that is so Padraig, 100%.
Shane Lowry, that's a great line, but that's true.
This is Jack Bigham for birdie, contributing to his team's lead there, out at 17.
But he's spot on. The belief you have to have in this game, you know, to compete at that level.
Harrington's so clever. He's a great lesson for everybody. He was never a fabulous ball striker, but he turned himself into a tremendous ball striker. But one of the gutsiest players you'll ever see.
Good hit. Beauty. Through the valley it's in. Watch this.
Watch skip
this.
up.
Yeah.
You just hang on to the back left there.
There's 6 women that play on the Edgar Tour around the world. Jennifer Straga, one of those. She's passionate about normalising the conversations around people with a disability. She uses golf as a brilliant forum, I should say, to do that. So there's a state of play in the celebration of champions. It's Team Davies through 3. They've just finished off 17 with a birdie as well from Jack Bigham. Just short of the walkway at the second, Catriona Matthew.
Beanie, do you want to know?
Yes.
You'd forgotten, hadn't you?
I have. I've known it before,
Come on,
and
right.
I've lost it.
Well, one of our younger brothers couldn't say Catriona, and Dad always used to call her Trini Beanie. That was where it comes from.
So I wasn't far off.
No, and
okay.
I bet you're really glad you waited all that time to find that out.
She still has a place in North Berwick.
Oh, she's got a fabulous house in North Berwick, yeah, and she's had a tremendous career, Beanie. Good putt for Straga, nice little finish here.
Playing in Henrik Stenson's team with Aaron Jarvis, the Latin America amateur champion, and Mark O'Meara. I see 3 of them there. Next group out to play and includes the incredible Sir Nick Faldo, and he's down with Iona.
Well, Sir Nick, it's great to see you here. 3-time winner of the Open. I know you're about to tee off, but is it possible to summarise what the Open has meant to you in a short sentence?
In a short sentence, well, I was that kid who stood on the putting green and said this to win the Open. And at Muirfield, I had a 5-footer, and there it was. And I remember saying to myself, I looked at the leaderboard, and Roger Davis was in at 4, under, and I'm 5, and I just said, well, if you want to win it, you got to hold it. So that was it. So that was the first moment, and obviously to come here and win. I came here on a mission because Fanny was new on the bag in 1990, won the Masters. We hit the hole at US Open, and came here really on a mission to win, and did, and managed to, play great. Shot 18 under, and had a 5-shot lead coming to last. So we were just talking about enjoying the view and the walk and taking it all in, which is different because most of the time your head down, blinkers on. So, but St Andrews is magical. The town's magic, isn't it? And then the whole golf course, the whole history. It's an amazing test. It's probably the most strategic golf course in the world, and yet it was put down by the sheep. So it's such a special spot. It really is.
And it's very special to see you here. Thank you for your time and enjoy this afternoon.
Okay,
thank you.
Go grab a club, Sir Nick. Great to hear his thoughts. This for birdie at the final hole for Team Stenson.
You're not alone missing that one on the right.
So it looks as though that should keep them with a par finish. The combined par, of course, in 17 and 18. And final score of -1. So next group is ready to go. No mistaking who's in that one. Fanny Sanderson there.
I thought that was a great touch having Fanny here.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And that's what today affords you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great pictures, isn't it?
That'd be a good one for wrong captions only.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Richard, the official photographer, he's one of the best in the business, that man. Tremendous. And yeah, he's just asking Fanny to get. Fanny's doing a lot of work in coaching now, team coaching in Sweden, etc. Yeah, I mean, a terrific brain.
Is it on there?
This is game number 9. On the tee from England, Sir Nick Faldo.
I had Fanny caddying for me and invite the feet.
Won't be hearing him on the airwaves for too much longer, which is unquestionably our loss.
Yes, it is. I've had the pleasure to work with him in America quite a bit on the CBS broadcast, and he is a pleasure to work with. And a phenomenal mind, to say the least, in the game of golf.
It is, isn't it? He's earned the right to go away and fish for the rest of his life.
And that he'll do, and do very well.
On the tee from the USA, Zach Johnson.
It was here in 2015. Zach Johnson took his Open Championship.
Yeah, I thought it was a great win as well, because it's not that long ago, of course, and he's getting slightly on in his years in terms of a lot of the young talent that's coming through, but he golfed his ball well with the skills again in the brain that he has.
He did, and this is a guy who got the most out of what he was given, talent-wise. He really did. Incredible mind.
On the tee from South Africa, Louis Oosthuizen.
In fact, all 4 of these players won at St Andrews, haven't they?
They did. And if anybody's looking for maybe a small wager on someone this week, the man is 31 under in his last 2 Open Championships at St Andrews.
What a swing. Yeah, and arguably he's putting better now than he was in those days.
Absolutely. He's definitely a better putter than he was when he won here in 2010.
On the tee from the USA, John Daly.
One of the true characters of the game.
They love him.
He changed it, didn't he, really? He opened the doors of golf to so many more, Aaron.
He really changed it at Crooked Stick in 1990 when he won the PGA from being the 9th alternate that year. And he played a game that no one had seen before, taking on bunkers, taking on shots and lines that no one had seen before.
So why don't we take a look back at the wins of Sir Nick Faldo. He owns his own chapter in the story of British golf.
Nick Faldo remains the last Englishman to win the Open in 1992.
Nick Faldo's second shot. He's hit it nicely. Oh, and that's a little gem.
His first of 3 Open wins came at Muirfield in 1987. Planet Jug number 2 was collected at St Andrews 3 years later.
That is just a superb shot. Faldo running was there,
The winner of the gold medal, the champion golfer for the year, Nick Faldo.
Faldo dominated the Old Coast to win by 5 shots.
So come the moment, comes the man. Absolutely drained, he's absolutely shattered.
Didn't look like he was ever going to let it go that day. And there it is, a lovely reminder for all of those 4 past championship champions there, as is the course surrounding them, I'm sure. So Nick Faldo back on course with his old caddy, Fanny Sunnison. Lovely stuff. He's a big unit as well, isn't he? Still is.
He is. He's in very good shape.
Catriona from the front of the green. Bit of left to right off that knuckle. Straighten a bit.
How about it? Oh. Wow, that one had eyes.
A lovely touch pairing she and Louise Duncan together. There's only one more game to go. Mark O'Meara was out earlier at around about 3:25, so he's done and dusted. Part of Team Stenson, 1 under par for them today, but the other 2 out in around about 5-6 minutes or so time.
One guy's going to be doing a lot of talking and 3 guys are going to be doing a lot of listening.
And that one guy is going to be doing a lot of talking. He stuck his head out of the window at the R&A the other day there. Tiger was on the putting green. He started giving him some banter.
So Tiger Woods there, and Lee Trevino back there in the pink. Rory McIlroy too, just up in the distance. They'll be joined in the final group by the AIG Women's Open champion from 2018 in Georgia Hall, who I spoke to last night. She's in town for about 5 days.
Thank you, Ms.
And she said, this pairing has pretty much made my life. I'm sure you can understand why. So Tom Watson's out there, the 5-time Open champion, and he too is going to have a little gander with Tim.
Tom, thank you so much for joining us. A 5-time Open champion, considered one of the finest links players ever, and yet when you first tried links golf, you didn't particularly enjoy it. What ultimately brought the best out of you when you played links?
Well, I finally got off the pity pot. When I first played a shot on links golf, I lost the ball. I hit a drive right down the fairway, right in the middle of the fairway, and I lost it. But eventually, I did find it after a long search, but it wasn't where it should have been. And I didn't particularly like that opening tee ball on links golf, and I struggled with it as far as trying to deal with the luck of the bounce. People play over here and they say, God, I got a bunch of bad bounces, and the other thing was getting the right distance, the right weight on the shot. I always prided myself to be able to hit the ball the right distance, but you have to factor in all the roll and the bouncing. That was a tough formula to try to get right, and finally I got it right.
For many people, me included, the Jewel in the Sun 1977, yourself versus Jack Nicklaus at Turnberry, is the finest Open we've ever seen. You were tied going into the final 36 holes. Jack shot 65-66 and lost to your 65-65. What memories of that for you?
Well, the memories there were that you know, I went into the tournament really feeling good about my golf game, and to be able to play the last 2 rounds with the greatest player in the world. You know, I actually kind of had some freedom there because he's supposed to win, right? But yeah, I had one lucky putt at the 15th hole. In fact, I saw him here at my wedding here on Saturday night. He came up and witnessed our wedding. Leslie Ann's my wedding, and we talked about that one shot. He said, "Yeah, I remember that shot. I remember that putt."
You're out here with 2 former Open champions, Stuart Sink and Paul Lowry, and also Kip Poppert, who lives with cerebral palsy and plays golf quite beautifully. Is that inspirational to you?
Absolutely. I admire the fortitude of people who have difficulties in their lives to be able to deal with it the way he's dealing with it right now. He loves the game with a passion, and you know that inspires him to do what he's doing. And you know, you can take this into anything you do in life. You know, if you hit a roadblock in life, you know, an injury or an affliction like he has, there are other ways to get along in life, and that's what he's doing right now. There's a big smile on his face, and I love to see it.
Appreciate your time as always. Congratulations on the wedding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
From one great to another, back on the tee. Not playing today, but still here to show his support is Jack Nicklaus with Martin Slumbers. Wouldn't be an Open Championship without guys like those here.
I don't want to say anything. I just want to watch this.
I know, exactly.
I played JP's Pro Am last week. Yeah, I played Hartford. Yeah, I played US Open at Hartford.
And Shane Lowry drove this green. I think we're going to see a lot of that this week, Andrew.
Yeah, I agree. We're seeing a lot of it. We're talking about the distance the golf ball is going, wind conditions, firm underfoot.
Got that westerly wind right now, westerly direction, making that 18th play pretty much down off the right to straight downwind. Ultimately, talking to the players this week, it looks like potentially, you know, talking to Will Zalatoris, they have 3 drivable par 4s out here this week potentially.
And I think with that birdie, Shane Lowry has just put his team well and truly out in front. I think they've got a 2-shot lead now, if my maths is correct. Down the last, back to 1. Checking it up nicely is Sir Nick Faldo.
Still got it.
Never lost it, did he?
Exactly right.
He's big at the 18th. Eagle, he's also driven the green. Oh, too firm on that line. Great moment.
So they're in with a 3 under par total. Team Dame Laura Davies, Lowry, Bigham and Clark, they lead the way as the final match is ready to get underway now. That of Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Georgia Hall and Lee Trevino.
Yeah, I hit it on the par 3s this thing. Even if it's 175, I hit a cut. Yeah, I hit it. I can roll this. You can't hit higher than it. Listen, when I start playing, the bugs will put their helmets on. The bugs will have helmets on before we tee off. Before I tee off. Let me wave to all my drunk friends over here. No, they're not. All my drunk. I tell you one thing. I lost. They played off in 1970. None of those guys were there.
We can just stand here and watch the celebration. Yeah. We're good to go.
I don't think the announcer wants to interrupt.
Like all of us, he just wants to listen.
Here we go. They're going to give him a couple more moments here.
This is game number 10. On the tee from the USA, Tiger Woods.
Quite simply an all-time great. A name known around the world, no matter what sport you play.
Icon, without a doubt.
We're talking about golfing brains. I'm not sure there's a better one.
I always separated the greatest player and the greatest champion when you're talking
On
about
the tee from Northern
Tiger Woods.
Ireland, Rory McIlroy.
And Jack Nicklaus.
We were a couple of weeks back in Canada.
It's amazing, though, how someone like Rory can get lost in the shuffle in a group like this. It's Rory McIlroy, my goodness.
Certainly hard to cast a shadow over his career.
Yes, it is.
On the tee from England, Georgina Hall.
It is Georgia, and she is a starlet of the English game. Comes from down in Bournemouth. A total natural when it comes to links golf, which she proved 4 years ago at Royal Lytham.
She was tactically brilliant that week. I remember watching it. It was a brilliant showing by her that whole week.
On the tee from the USA, Lee Trevino.
What a reception for Lee Trevino.
It never gets old.
I think even the people in Dundee were clapping then.
Jack Nicklaus always said that Lee Trevino was his toughest competitor because he kept putting Nicklaus on the pedestal, that he had no wriggle room off him. The only guy that really put him under pressure.
Yep. I lost the last 2 holes, I'll ride with you.
So look at that trio. They're all going to soak it up out there today. Tiger Woods, the name alone, enough is said in sporting circles or out. He is a legend.
Tiger Woods has achieved more than most in the game, but winning the Open at St Andrews was a prize he coveted from the moment he made his Open debut at the Old Course in 1995. 5 years later, he did just that with an emphatic 8-shot win as he set a new championship scoring record with a final score of 19 under par. Tiger has 3 Open titles to his name, the last of those coming at Hoyley in 2006. The 15-time major winner will be hoping to rediscover his touch on the links this week and complete a hat-trick of Open wins at St Andrews.
Great to see you, bro. Take care.
What a picture.
I love how Jack just snuck in there in the back for that picture. That is, I'll tell you what, who's going to tell him no? Are you kidding me? I think they asked him to come over there and take it with him.
It was made all the more better for having him there. And off they go, our final group now. and it was worth waiting for. Up ahead at the green. This for an opening birdie for Sir Nick Faldo. Louis Oosthuizen's already bagged a birdie of his own. Just enough.
I would think this is the team that's potentially the team to beat here. These guys.
Well, that's only the second six. Remember, each hole, because they're par fours, is technically a par 8 with 2 scores counting the best gross scores. And there you go, 2 under through 1. They're on the move. The likes of Faldo, Johnson, Oosthuizen, and John Daly. They're trailing Team Davies by just the 1 in the celebration of champions.
Yeah? That's what I feel about times.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah. Huh?
Level par for Team Bill Rogers and Team Watson. 1 under for the likes of teams from Morikawa, Spieth, Stenson, and Catriona Matthew's team, who's still got a couple left to play. So Rich Beam has gone back out to this final match, understandably so. Who's going to be first to play, Rich?
Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. I was just curious if we were really paying it that much attention. Lee, Buck, Trevino. He's already asking if he can bump it around there. He's got 90 yards from what are they going to do? Disqualify me?
I think he asked Jack if he could ride with him.
Yeah. I think an exponent of sort of shape shifting with the golf ball. I don't think there's ever been one better.
Nope. It was fascinating listening to him and Tiger talk a few weeks ago about how they shaped shots.
Yeah, that's somebody you really want to listen to, and no doubt about it. This one's shaped right in the middle of the green. Nice little shot.
It was interesting, Beamer, Trevino tried to hook it, Tiger tried to cut it right there.
Yeah, he had a nice little low draw, and Rory has also been working with Tiger on some of his shorter irons.
It's starting to pay off.
Oh, you better believe it.
It certainly was. That just landed in a little downslope, but the point you're making is nice to see that sort of sawn off follow shoot through. That's suggesting a little bit more control rather than the high hands where he sort of lost it.
His wedges were incredible in at the Canadian Open when he won.
And last but not least, Georgia Hall. Nice aggressive action.
Are they broadcasting this today?
Yeah, she's got a little speed through the ball. Nice compact swing.
Yeah, Barbara was trying to find it on television.
It's not like Iona Stephen to miss an opportunity like the one that was afforded to us on the first tee. So she's back there, and I'm sure she's pretty chuffed. She's about to have a chat with Jack Nicklaus.
Mr. Nicklaus, thank you so much for giving us a moment of your time. How does it feel to be back in St Andrews?
Well, I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's, you know, the weather's been good, and I've got my whole family with me, and my wife is right over there, and we just it's nice to be back. I said my goodbyes in 2005. I didn't want to come back. I wanted to leave it as it was, but that's why I didn't come back the last couple Opens. And then when they gave me the honorary citizen of St Andrews, I could not refuse that. I said I will be back. So we're here.
Is it possible to describe the emotions that you feel when you come into the city of St Andrews?
Well, it's a little bit like going down Magnolia Lane in Augusta. You know, it's something that you don't see anywhere else. And you know, I always say this, and I don't use this in endearing terms. This old gray city just seems to light up when the golf tournament comes, and all of a sudden it becomes a beautiful, lively, gorgeous spot to be. Of course, as it relates to the game of golf, it's the home, so that's what's so gorgeous about for me. It's where I wanted to end my career. I ended my career here, and you know, we're just very happy to be back.
And how important and significant is this celebration of champions today?
Well, I think it's kind of nice. It's a nice event. I think the guys will enjoy it. I never did play it. I don't know why I never played it, but it. And maybe they didn't have it back when I played. I don't know.
No, possibly not. It's a particularly special week, of course, the 150th, the homecoming. And are you going to go out and watch a couple of holes now?
No, I'm going to stay right here. And then
right here.
I'm going to meet those guys that have just teed off on the Swilken Bridge and have a little picture. And that'll be my contribution today.
Fabulous. Well, thank you again for your time, and we hope you enjoy the week.
Okay, thank you.
I think he's given this game enough. That sounds about right.
72 and 71.
What do you want to get Sky Sports on?
It's pay-per-view, so...
Oh, it's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So up ahead to the first green.
You have to pay for it in the UK.
A little over, say, 25 feet or so left for birdie for Tiger Woods.
That's why we don't get it, because it's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Being announced all the way around onto various greens. That's what you're hearing in the background. Nice touch there by Tiger Woods clapping along.
Bet you this isn't short.
Oh, come on.
Oh, we should have taken the bet, Colty.
I was out there walking the golf course this morning, and I ran into Tiger on number 4, and he must have spent 10 minutes on number 4 putting that green, just working on different hole locations and working on his speed, all from 35, 40-plus feet the whole time, just trying to figure out the speed of the greens.
Yeah, and obviously the breaks as well, and how high you've got to hit them because of the slowness of these surfaces. You know, there's going to be a massive disparity.
Lee's like, oh, I'll finish.
His playing partners have his back. At the 18th, Mr. Gary Player for a final birdie. Not to beat.
Rory for his birdie. Look at that subtlety in those breaks. Is it going to do it?
Surely George is going to get it to the hole. They might just keep about half an inch off them overnight.
Yeah, those 3 efforts by these past champions are a little on the weak side. Come on, Georgia, show them how it's done here.
I think she gets to the hole, Baber. She definitely wasn't going to leave it short after seeing the first 3.
Her father, Wayne, is on the bag this week, which he was for her AIG Women's Open win. With Solheim Cups as well over the years.
Look at those 2 legends.
Yeah, you'll get it. Yeah. Nice one. Lovely to see you. See you soon.
A great moment. Moment for Dame Laura.
Sandy Lyle. And he finds the birdie at the last.
That's another great thing about what you saw here. To the crowd it goes. It's another great thing you see, though. You see people like Dame Laura Davies and Jack Nicklaus meeting. This is what this game has done, you know, and especially the celebration of champions. What it's done is brought all these great champions together. Good to see them in one spot. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think the clear mutual respect everybody has for everybody that's actually taking the fairways there today is a sight to see. Nice pace for Sir Nick.
2 of the big 3. Cherish that picture in those talks.
God, there's some air miles in that picture, isn't
Oh
there?
my gosh.
They were the original world players, weren't they?
They were.
I don't think Cheap Spunker's going to bother with this one. I think it's going to be sailing past it. It's on a good line.
That was a soft cut that's going to get 30, 40 yards. Watch out there, Buggy. Whoops. Are we playing? we playing yet?
Nice little cameo there. It's finally stopped. We say that a lot in links golf.
Yeah, you're seeing that as crisp as the ground is, and as the fairways having that sheen to them, a lot of players are going to struggle to stop balls from running into bunkers and
you're going to
bits of rough.
You're going to really, sorry Andrew, you're really going to have to understand your spin control and your windows this week with as firm as it is.
That you came to your house 40 years ago.
Yeah, I know it's pretty. Yeah, it's beautiful rock.
Oh, he's been keeping everybody entertained even while they're hitting. Oh.
So while that one chases down there, you can see Tim Barter poised yet again. This time, it's Rory's turn.
Rory, thanks very much for joining us. As a young boy in primary school, you did a project on a hero and inspiration of yours, Mr. T. Woods.
Yeah.
Is it almost surreal now to be a good friend of his, to be a fellow Open champion, and to be out here in this amazing event playing with him?
Yeah, sort of a little bit emotional in a way. Yeah, it's incredible to think. Just, you know, if you were to tell 10-year-old Rory back then that you'd be doing this, I wouldn't have believed you. So to get my name in the Claret Jug, to be as close as I am with my hero growing up, and to be a part of something like this, you know, going to the, you know, doing this with Lee Trevino, Georgia Hall, you know, all the great champions that are gathered here today, to do the Champions Dinner tomorrow in the RNA Clubhouse. You know, you have Jack Nicklaus, you know, on the first tee. It's, you know, it's sort of pinch yourself moment. And it's really, really cool. And I'm so privileged and humbled to be a part of it all.
You won the Open in 2014. You didn't get to defend in 2015 at St Andrews because you played football with your friends and got injured. I hope you've been wrapped in Captain Wool for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was a silly boy. But yes, I have not done anything to jeopardize playing in this championship. So I'm here, I'm healthy. I just got to keep myself in good shape the next couple days, and you know, looking forward to teeing off on Thursday.
One final question. This golf course, people often say the safest side to hit your tee shot is down the left, but if you hit them down the right, you get a better line into the green. What's your thinking?
Yeah, 100%. Especially with how firm the golf course is going to be this week. I think you're going to have to be a little more aggressive off the tees, and actually, you know, I think lay back a little bit. You're going to, you know, for example, this hole, the second, if you drive it up the fairway and the pin's on the left side, it's going to be very hard to get your ball close to the pin. So it could be you're going to see quite a few guys laying back because you're going to get full shots into greens to at least be able to create some spin and keep the ball close to some of these hole positions, because, you know, quite frankly, the only defense St Andrews has is tucking these pins away and making it hard to get to them.
Appreciate your time as always. Keep having fun.
Cheers, Tim. Thank you.
Fully underway in the Champions Challenge. Everyone out there now. Go to the second green, Oosthuizen. Oh, you said this might be a hot team, and it looks like you're right, Darren.
Yeah, those guys are going to be tough to beat, I think, around these 4 holes.
Lovely start. 2 under in the first hole, 2 under in the second, 4 under. They take the lead from Dame Laura Davis' team. And that's the way it all stands. 6 of the teams under par, headed by Faldo, 2-time champion here at St Andrews. Great to see so many from so far back coming back to St Andrews. Here's one of them. And nothing much has changed.
No, that golf swing's not going to change at all. Why should it? It's been very successful over the years. And look at this thing. Look at this run. My goodness. I mean, he flew that, what, 100 yards, Andrew? And it ran 100 yards.
He didn't reach the fairway with a tee shot, but he's
over the green.
He's 20 feet away too.
Oh, I love this course and love this game.
Hey, be nice. I mean, he's back there playing 453 yards.
It's pretty impressive, Beamer.
Oh, it is. He is. Yeah, he just got up there, picked out a club, and away it went. Nice lie over here on the right for Georgia.
Such a confident swing. 3/4 in the way back, 3/4 in the way through. A little unlucky with the first bounce, just dug its toes in.
There's a good example of if you hit it on the wrong side of the slope, it comes up at St. Andrews. Take a look at the strike here. Very clean.
Yeah, strike was poor. She was just on that side of the mound there, and it wasn't a collection area for any of the moisture that's been out there, and as a result, slightly crisper contact than you would have expected. Got a yardage here, Rich.
What's the yardage? Oh, I don't know. You're asking me all these serious questions on a Monday, Andrew. I'm going to say
it's Rich doesn't start really work until Thursday.
It's a practice. I thought you'd be getting into it. I thought you'd be checking the spots.
98. He's going to put it back in his stance. He's going to drive it forward. Watch this. A couple hops up there. A little check. Watch this. Come on.
Oh, my goodness. Lee Trevino even said that. All right. I can work with that. That is fantastic.
Just to correct you, Aaron, Beamer sometimes doesn't start work till 3 o'clock on a Sunday.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Hey, wait a second. That hurts a little too close to home. Boy, just munched on this drive as well. That's the thing about it, though. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if guys actually try and take the driver out and get it this far up, because what's he got? He's got a putter out. I mean,
someone, I think someone bet him here, Beamer. Trevino had to say something.
Well, if Trevino's betting him, he's goading him into a bet that he's not, that, you know.
He might not.
Trevino doesn't lose very often in those bets.
Exactly. That was brilliant. My goodness.
Please welcome
Tell you what, that's the kind of thing that John Daly did in '95 when he ended up winning.
For the year in 1971 and 1972 at Royal Birkdale and Muirfield.
71, 72, the years of Lee Trevino. One of the most famous bunkers in the world.
Was far enough back, didn't have to deal too much with the lip.
We do have a camera buried into the revetted face. Taking as near the action as possible. Exquisitely played from the champion of '99.
Keeping it nice and shallow through those bunkers.
And Tiger Woods, champion golfer of the year in 2000, 2005, and 2006 at St. Andrews and Royal Liverpool.
Reminds me very much of the first tee at Eastlake when he was alongside Mickelson, and they started reading out the record of Tiger, and Phil just said, okay, just get on with it.
Phil wasn't the only victim, for sure, of all those great records Tiger has.
No, I mean, he could have, he'd still be there.
Exactly.
Announcing one on the first tee. Oh, nice little putt. Great for distance there.
She definitely knows what she's doing around links courses. There's no doubt about it.
Do you think she's saying she'll pick it up, or do I have to putt that?
Over to 17 and Stuart Sink. Right to left. His comeback has been quite remarkable.
It has. Andrew and I were talking about it. He found some speed. He started to train for some speed. He did some different things with his driver and got about 10 more miles an hour on his driver ball speed for Stuart Sink, as we're watching Lee Trevino here, his bid.
Yeah, I mean, trying to give that kind of perspective. If you can get like a couple, 2 or 3 miles an hour, you've done really, really well there. So you get 10. That was
10 miles an hour. In all honesty, Andrew, that equates to 18 to 23 yards or so. So I mean, that's 2 clubs. Yeah. Massive.
Trevino just never quits. I mean, he's still out here looking at this golf course like he's preparing. He's chatting it up with the players. Caddy's working on his game. I mean, it's just awesome to watch. I mean, I know Rory's awesome too.
But like I said, Beamer, there's going to be one guy talking and 3 people listening.
You know the game. You know the rules.
When you tee it up with Lee, you know exactly what's going to happen.
He's actually gone quiet for a second here. Come on, Tiger, give him something to cheer about.
There we go.
That's what he's been doing since he arrived here, just carrying a wedge and a putter and working his way around the edge of the greens and on them. What a delightful birdie from Tiger Woods. Takes the team to 1 under as they cross over to the 17th.
I'd love to know what Trevino's best line was to somebody. You know, like getting it in their head or whatever. What he felt he'd accomplished. It'd be interesting.
I think it probably was the one with Tony Jacklin. When Jacklin said, "Look at Lee, I don't want to talk today." He says, "That's absolutely fine." He says, "All you got to do is listen."
That's exactly right. Oh, I'd forgotten about that one. That's fantastic. That's exactly right.
This, to me, was one of the truly great ball strikers of the last 30, 40 years.
Without a doubt. From the American side, it was Davis Love for me as a kid, but on this side of the pond, he was my guy along with Nick Price.
Just have a look at this. What a shot from Faldo. Gentle draw from right to left. Landed on a sixpence, exactly where he wanted. And it's like old times alongside Fanny Sinnison. He's got a birdie putt coming up 17. He's at the top of the leaderboard once again at the Old Course. Faldo with a one-shot lead over the team of Dame Laura Davis. Short walk from the second green to the 17th tee. Woods making that walk now after his birdie at his second hole.
I wasn't sober.
I got a red flag up there, so
I don't remember playing there, but
they're waiting
exhibition
and listening.
The day after.
Yeah, it was a tough night.
We still remember you.
That was a tough night. I was in the Kingsway Casino all night. You know who was with me? The sausage man, Jimmy Dean. He and I were over there testing out the grapes. Since the Mexicans picked the grapes, I wanted to drink some of them.
We have a stone.
Huh?
We have a stone on the 11th
where
you hit the dryer.
Yeah, I couldn't have been sober if I was over there. I love it.
We're good to go in a minute, I think.
He's just like a little kid, isn't he? I mean, he's Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. Treehouse. All right, green flag's up. And a lot more room up there to the right than what it seems like. With the wind blowing from right to left, you can actually go a little even further right of what you think is enough.
The shape is ideal. Just a hint of a fade at the top of its flight. Really couldn't walk down there and place it any better. Lovely tee shot.
Well, now, is he going to go ahead and try and hold this one up, or is he going to go ahead and take this thing out over to the right and just turn it loose? Oh, it's a Monday. He's taking it right. This is going to hop off of one of the balconies to get back in bounds.
That's the jigger in.
Yeah, I'll have a pint, please, Rory.
Yeah, there it is, right there to your left.
You wouldn't have wanted to be sitting on the balcony in room 402 there, would you?
No, no. You'd see the label of the ball come right by your head.
Paid a little bit more. You could have got in over here.
So we'll let them amber round the corner. We'll go ahead to 18.
Bring this one in low, skip it. All right, very nice.
The home club, Andrew North Berwick, now beautifully decorated by Catriona.
Yeah, it certainly is, with all the trophies, the accomplishments that she's achieved in the game. The medals from the Queen, of course, the awards from there that she's had, and they've designated a room, I think, in the clubhouse in her honour as well.
Well, this is a little more inviting prospect. Georgia, she's going to take it out there over the E in course. That should be a pretty ideal line.
I love that swing. That's a brilliant swing.
Simple.
And Trevino also moving up a tee, as he should have. Always likes to work a little cut in there off the tee if you can. Oh, we moved it back in his stance to hit the draw.
Very well crafted. Nicely placed in the middle of the fairway. Let's get down to Tim. Tiger is alongside him.
Tiger, thank you so much for joining us. You made your Open debut here in 1995. You then came back and won in 2000 and 2005. Just describe the feeling of being announced as the Champion Golfer of the Year at the home of golf.
There's nothing else like it. For me, I was lucky enough to actually complete the career Grand Slam here in 2002, so it made it even more special. But to do it here at the home of golf, and Jack said it, there's nothing like being a champion at the home of golf. There's no other feeling.
Today we're celebrating 150th Open Championship, but the R&A are passionate about bringing more people into the game. If there are youngsters watching this that have never picked up a golf club, explain why they should.
Well, one, it's just so much fun to play. I mean, you play with all different generations. I mean, you got, you know, I'll say kid. Rory's a kid compared to me. I always call him a kid. But then you got Lee Buck out here hitting it with us, 80 some odd years old. You got amateurs out here playing. I mean, it's just fantastic. And it's a generational thing. You all play in the same group, have a great time together. There's no reason why you can't enjoy it.
Final question, how are you feeling?
Feeling good, yeah. It's, game day is Thursday. So I just got to pace myself to then and then get after it. And hopefully we can put ourselves in contention come the back nine on Sunday.
Really appreciate your time. Play well.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
And it wouldn't be a great surprise if he did. So good Vettel walking down the 17th. Faldo a few moments ago with the most magnificent second. Let's see if he can turn this into a 3.
This would be a heck of a 3. He had the line.
Never ever thought I'd see Nick Faldo putting with a putter grip like that.
Up at 18, Molinari for a 3.
It's been a tough little hole location today for these guys to make putts. They've struggled a little bit on that hole.
It's not one we'll see in the championship.
No.
What they're doing, just using that part of the green.
Yeah.
Saw the approach of Catriona moments ago. She's got a look at a birdie 3.
Coming back down the hill here. Oh, she figured it out. Well, she's a member, so she knows these greens. Member of the R&A, newly minted.
Yeah, that would have meant a lot to it as well. A little bit off the right, this one for Harrington.
And he'll go practice his putting for 2 hours because of that miss.
He doesn't hang around, Lee. Now he's talking to the ball.
Oh, we could see some fun stuff here coming up from Lee off the road.
That Tiger is going to go next. Georgia, whew, she's way up there. And there's a lot of festivities going on to my right. This little place called the Jigger Inn.
Yeah, don't think about it, Rich. Don't think about it. Concentrate on the golf.
Or bring one back for Andrew
So
and
I think I'm just going to stay right here and just comment from here. I got binoculars.
Listen, with some of the yardages you've given, I thought that's what you were doing.
Oh, Rory just dropping one for funsies. And for funsies, going to knock it in the hole, it looks like.
It's going to be very difficult for me to stay away from him as a pick this week.
He got his tour card here back in 2008. And he birdied the 18th to get that tour card. And had he not, it was qualifying score. That was the start of the Rory story.
I think as well there's a little bit of that unfinished business when he didn't make it here.
100%.
He wants to prove that point.
Because he was going to be the overwhelming favorite in 2015.
Yeah.
Overwhelming favorite.
And I think he's already the favorite this year, too. He looks awfully relaxed out here, having some fun, soaking it all in. Georgia, just tattooed this one. Can't have much more, about 130, maybe 140 at the most. Breeze coming in a little bit from right to left. Inviting a little pin here.
Looks like she's trying to keep it low. Beamer chase that around. Oh, beautiful. Oh, she just kind of got a little bit of bad luck. Hitting into the hill there in the front of that green.
Some cracking scoring out there already. Everybody having fun. A lot of chat out there. None more so than the man with the pink shirt over there on the left-hand side. One of the all-time true great characters of this marvellous game.
I hate to throw a stroke away like this. You know, if I'm going to bogey the hole, I'd rather... I haven't bogeyed it yet, though. On the tee, Lee Trevino. Where are we going, anyway? I'm just following the crowd. Oh, my God.
Lee Trevino is a links legend who was a firm fans' favourite throughout the 70s and 80s, thanks to his personality and major winning talent.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Just choose one list. For 3.
The men from Texas lifted the claret jug twice, with back-to-back wins in '71 at Birkdale and a year later at Muirfield.
I'm very proud to be your Open champion. Thank you very much.
Memories of half a century ago, Mr. Lou, and that 18th hole in the first victory at Birkdale, and then the tussle with Tony Jacklin in 1972. 5 pitches he held that week.
Wow.
The last of these at the 71st hole.
We introduce this afternoon the champion golfer of 1971 and 1972. We won the Open in 1971 by beating Mr. Moon, you may remember, at Royal Birkdale, and then defended the crown at Muirfield 12 months later. A member of the World Golf Hall of Fame, another of the all-time greats. Welcome, please, Lee Trevino.
That's the trouble with a record like that.
When you're a World Golf Hall of Famer, you can take it off that road and drop it right next to it.
I think he was just desperate to get on with it, but of course the accolades had to be read out.
Not the first time Tom Watson was across the Swilken Burn. Phil Lowry alongside him there. Great memories to take away from today. Back to Tiger.
Yeah, found the back portion of the screen. Pretty sizable break here for Tiger.
Brilliant. He's been working so hard on that speed on these greens. He hasn't had a lot of competitive reps, obviously, so he really needs to take his time out here very seriously, as he always does. But
you know, he'll really have enjoyed being alongside Trevino, because away from the glare, the public glare, Tiger's quite a good joke teller.
Oh, yes.
You know, he learned from Butch Harmon.
He learned from who? I'm sorry.
Butch Harmon.
Oh, well, yeah, one of the best in the game of joke telling for sure.
Yes, he is. We're right to left here for Georgia.
Oh.
A big event, of course, coming up for Georgia very shortly when Muirfield is the venue for the British Women's Open Championship, just across the way from where we were last week at Renaissance. Looking a pretty picture it was towards the end of last week. You just see what Tiger's thinking. Says, I'm not really interested because I've no plans to go in there anyway.
It still amazes me after walking the golf course, you know, today, and you see 110 bunkers around this place that he did not hit it in one of them in 2000 when he went on to win.
You'd think over 4 rounds there'd be a bad bounce somewhere.
Exactly.
But there wasn't.
No. I mean, that's how purely he hit it around this place.
When you think of 2006 as well at Hoylake, I mean, that was burnt to cinder.
One driver played that. I played there that year. It was, I couldn't tell the difference from where the fairway ended and the green began on a few holes. That's how burnt it was.
Yeah, and I was just going to elaborate on that as well. That's because of the attention to detail and knowing exactly where the landing areas are and where the flat areas are, and where you then risk it if you push it a little bit too far.
And that's honestly what I'm looking forward to this week, to see how the modern game and the modern analytics tells players how to play this great old golf course.
Well, Tom doing what he's always done, sending one in nice and tight at 18.
Yeah, good action. Nice
Beautiful
technique.
action.
Yeah.
Just needed a half club more. Have the line. You can see he's really soaking it in and enjoying this whole day.
Yes, wherever you are in the world watching this, I'm sure you've enjoyed the last 2.5, 3 hours or so. The start of Open Championship week. There's some great names, some great champions. Lowry's second.
Brave line off the tee.
Do you think that's an easier shot than the one from the left?
No, I don't think it's an easier shot. I think it's a brave line off the tee. Was the point? Down there you're starting to look at the number plates and the amount of letters on the back of a card.
You may as well just finish the story off because I can see where you're going.
Well, no, I haven't really. I've not. Well, I've hit it down there, but I didn't break any cars or smash any windows or anything like that. But,
Did you hit one out of bounds here?
No, never.
The right?
Aaron, not me. Not me. I was Daniel Dart.
Stuart Sinkworth, the putter. I'll enlighten you on that. I was playing with Hale Irwin in the final round in '78, and I sent it down the road on the right-hand side. Oh. Yeah, I have to admit it.
Ewan.
Widest fairway in golf, Ewan Murray.
When I shook Hale's hand,
he was taking the high line.
When I shook Hale's hand, I said, "Well played, good round." He says, "Thank you." He says, "I hope you get your game back." I've never seen Cole Tart so happy. He loves it. Faldo by one out the top from Dame Laura. Matthews had a good day. What a lovely finish. 33 funds of the R&A Clubhouse. Little cooler. It was pretty warm midday, around 24, 25 degrees, but maybe a sea hard coming in a bit later on this evening.
I think we're going to get some wind. I think we're going to get some cooler temperatures as the week goes on. And the lessons continue.
You see, the problem with you two.
That's exactly right. See, if you just did it this way, you can see Tiger and Rory sitting there going, "Yes, Lee. Yes, Lee."
Pop it with a bird. Pop.
You know something?
Kind of brave, you mean?
Well, that's fine, Tiger. If you want to do it your way, you just carry on and do it that way. How about the green, Watson? Be a big roar if this one went in.
Determined to hole out, isn't he?
Well, I was going to say he had a lot of those types of putts with that kind of aggression in his heyday, and it won him a lot of golf tournaments.
Beautifully coached in. You know, I still look back to him and I think the shot of the year was Watson's second to the last at Turnbull.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly where he wanted to land.
I think he couldn't have played it any better. And for it to bounce that way, and everybody says, well, shouldn't you hit the 9-iron instead of the 8-iron? And it's easy to obviously Monday morning quarterback it and second guess it, but it was a brilliant shot that just didn't turn out brilliantly.
This was the man that took the title that year.
Would have been, in my opinion, the greatest Open Championship victory in the history of Open Championships.
I think many would agree with that. I mean, Sink was like the man who shot Bambi because everyone wanted,
you know,
and Watson to win.
And one of the nicest men you'll ever meet in Stuart Sink. And, beautiful putt there by Tom. Still aggressive as ever on the greens.
Just to make sure that, like,
where you line up, you know.
Yeah, because I use like so like say we're going up there and like the line is I'll like get this, and also that's where I get my. So I aim at something. Yeah. So I aim at something really good.
Close, yeah.
And then that's sort of I know that I'm aiming correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I start to try to aim like further out,
yeah.
Like I'll start aiming way off.
Are you with Brad still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, Fax is a good guy. And the thing with Fax is as well, it's not a lot of technical stuff. It's more routine and reading.
Yeah, that's what I found. Yeah.
So I like greens with like imperfections in them because I can say, okay, well, it needs to be left of that part, or it needs to be.
Too. When it's really pure, I can't find nothing.
Yeah. So, like, he'll put like a coin or a penny in the middle of a putt and be like, can you make it above it?
That's
like, yeah. Make it below it, yeah. So then you're playing around with speeds and all sorts of stuff like that. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Do you have a base over in the States? No, or no?
No, I live in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
At the moment, but I'm looking because I've been in Wentworth for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for like Sunday area too.
Are you?
Yeah. But maybe just an apartment because like just lock up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never there. Yeah. And I tried to think about living.
A nice chat going on there. Nick Faldo and Fanny Sinison. They were magnificent together. The great moments they shared under pressure. They were able to enjoy one of the victories here because it was a 5-shot win. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. And phenomenal team, without a doubt.
That's a proud moment. John's son's a bit of a golfer too, isn't he?
He's
he can play.
Very good player.
Yeah.
Very good player.
They won the father and son, parent-child, I think they call it in the States. Tiger's going to need half an hour lie down in a darkened room because he's still going, Lee.
I tell you what, you've got to have a good filter.
He's a good kid. That damn it. Really.
It's nice to see Tiger this relaxed. I mean, in his early days, you know, there wasn't a lot of this chat. Or just business, you know, just straight business.
I think he's pretty much he's business out there today. I think in something like this, I agree with you. It's great to see him out there smiling like he is right there. And
yeah, but it's still like
Compared to
yeah. Virginia water's
I do like that area. But yeah.
Not bad. Okay.
Do 3 in a row, 4 in a row is my max, and then I'll go home for 2 or 3. So this is my favourite type of
Tiger's just loves. You know, you could see that Tiger truly admires Lee, and just loves being around him.
You were talking about some of his phrases. Another one was there's no pressure in winning majors. Pressure is when you're playing for $5 and you've got 2 in your pocket. That was one of his early ones.
Yep.
Well, when Tim got Tiger down the 17th, we're chatting away, whatever it was, second hole. You know, Tiger called Trevino Lee Buck. I wonder whether there's that got to do with that quote about the money in his pocket when.
Very possible. His early manager was Bucky Roy. And then he joined Derek Village and he was a golf management company. Well, Jack said he'd be there, and true to his word, here he is.
How far is he leaving this, Aaron?
As good as wedge player, I'm going to say 10 feet, but I don't think he caught it the way he wanted to.
No, he didn't.
He kind of skinned it a little bit.
Yeah, that's his wheelhouse, isn't
Boy,
it? That's
I'll tell you
butter,
what.
yeah.
I played with him the first 2 rounds of the Masters. He won in 2007. I played with him that year. And it's a true story. He laid up on every par 5, and his wedges were brilliant. He made par from 100 yards out on a couple of the par 5s with wedges. He had to lay back. He didn't hit a good driver, hit it in a bunker, had to lay back, and wedged it on to 15 feet, made the putt for par.
In fact, I don't think he went for a par 5 the whole week.
He didn't go for a par 5 the entire week.
Up over the left edge of the Valley of the Sin, John Daly's still got the touch.
Boy, if you can drive it down here, boy, this is absolutely perfect angle-wise. Coming up that green. Brilliant.
So we'll let them wander up to the putting surface, and time for us to go and join Iona once again.
Well, Paul, thanks for joining us. How much fun was that?
It's always good fun when we play in this tournament. Always great to play with Mr. Watson. Always a pleasure. He's played 4 holes there and not missed a shot. Absolutely flushed it, as you probably saw. But yeah, it's great fun. Obviously for me and other players to come back and just to play 4 holes and get the reception that you get is pretty cool.
And how was it walking up the 18th, this atmosphere already building on the Monday?
Yeah, it's nice. It's always a good atmosphere here. It's always a great event. I think they've sold us at 290,000 tickets or something this week, so it's going to be mega. So we're all looking forward to it.
And the news has broken. You will be hitting the first tee shot on Thursday morning. What an honour is that?
Yeah, I did it once before here at St Andrews. I think it was 15 or maybe 2010. The last time we were here, I did it. So yeah, it's a nice thing to be asked to do. Mr. Slumbers phoned me a few weeks ago and asked me to do it. So delighted.
Good stuff, Paul. Well, thanks for the chat, and we look forward to watching you play this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
But 2 weeks for Paul. He's also got the Senior Open Championship as well, which is at Glen Eagles this year. So he's been working away, hitting golf balls up at the Paul Lowry Centre up by Newmarket in Aberdeenshire. And his game looks in pretty good shape going into this championship here.
I think that he's going to have a fantastic 2 weeks over this week playing here, obviously, and then Glen Eagles next week should be awesome for the Senior Open. This one should have some break to it, Andrew.
Yeah, it's quite a big one from the right-hand side. Seeing everybody miss it low.
No one's gotten it near high enough.
No, it's tough, isn't it? It's a massive big slope back right of this green. There's never any pin positions up there, the back right. It's too steep, and it influences the whole right side of that putting surface.
I think you said it earlier, Alan, that you look at Zach Johnson, the talent he was given, he got every single ounce out of that, and that's a great compliment to pay to a player.
Yeah, he he wasn't physically gifted as far as speed, being able to hit it a long way, and came along at a time when speed was starting to matter, and he didn't chase speed, he didn't chase distance, he did it his way throughout his entire career, and has had a marvelous career because of it, and a brilliant mind. How about it? You can't do that to Sir Nick Faldo on the last hole at St. Andrews. You can't do that.
That will be his words in the months ahead, the one that got away.
The one that got, yes. Does he love it or what? The fishing.
He is brilliant at it as well. Fly fishing is a tremendous
It's an art.
It's a bit like golf.
It is. It's an art, without a doubt.
This looks like it's going to be the winning team. From the word go, they've been exceptional.
Making it look very easy. Good grip, that. A lot of fun. Good golf to boot.
I might have to go put a few pounds on Louis, I think, this week, maybe.
Such an elegant swing. See, all the good players take it down the right side there, Andrew.
yeah, but the good ones try to keep it inside the white boundary fence down the road. Anyway, I'm glad you got your game back. Anyway.
It takes guts to aim down that right side, Ewan. It takes guts.
Oh, don't do that to him, Aaron. Don't do that.
Well, you'd figure maybe some of the cobblestone would kick it back to the left and bounce, maybe.
Or one of those big buildings, Beamer.
Yeah, you know, something like that. See, Lee plays it smart, out to the left-hand side, opens up the angle for the second, you know.
Good 20 yards over Granny Clark's Wine, who was a fisher lady in town. Used to go down the beach and take the fish back, sell her wares, and where she made her living. Never used to be tarmac, used to be just a narrow track.
And dirt, correct? Just a dirt road?
It's a dirt
road,
yeah.
Oh, this is on a good line. Hugging the right side. No, right at it. Sorry.
This could be too much.
Oh, this is a long par 3 for Rory.
What a driver to golf ball, McIlroy.
A little clapping up there at the green, so obviously he hit a good one, but I think no matter where this one goes, I think with the folks in the grandstand to the right of 17 green or behind it, they're going to let everybody know how they feel about this swing.
Now this is clever. He's taking the ball flight down here. A good shoot with the first bounce.
He's going to get the roll. And he does. That's got to sit down just a little bit.
Well, he's out-driven a young pup by about 30 yards there.
Big hug from Barbara Nicklaus. And a smiling Tiger Woods, and he's looking in good shape going into this 150th Open. Nick Faldo rolled back the years with some magnificent striking over these 4 holes, and his team are way out in front.
golf is a part of this town. It never ceases to amaze when you come here for the first time how integrated it is. In fact, the main street just down the right, Ewan, you know it well.
Yes, that's not very well. Every square inch of it.
Here, thank you.
Keep going.
And straight to me, please. That's it. Lovely. Thank you.
Another one for the mantle.
Yes, the new apartment, I think, will be graced with that one. And why not?
Why not?
Yeah, she's lived in Sunningdale before and bought down in Bournemouth and wants to move back just to make the life a little easier with the airports.
Yeah, Bournemouth itself is a beautiful part of the world.
Oh, yeah, you want the shortest guy in the pod, all right? Come on, Jack, you can stand in front of me.
That, holy Lee.
Hey, go.
Guys, straight to this one first if you would. Cheers, Lee.
Just over here.
And then straight to me on the
Wait
end.
a minute, who's the official bunny here?
Here.
Okay.
There we go.
And this one
Down here, Lee. Thank you. Oh, good.
in the middle, thank you very much.
Couple more this way, please. That's it.
Come on in, Jack.
Tiger.
You choose 6. Yep. And then the other guys behind you. Yeah. Yes, please.
I've got TV coming on. Can't move, it's people.
I need a favor before we go, okay? I need somebody to take a picture of me with my family. I'd appreciate it.
Straight this way, guys. Lovely. And for the rest of it.
And
guys, down here, please. Thank you, Jack. Lee,
and
Jack, Tiger.
Folks, straight. Rory, straight to me. Georgia. Thank you. That's it. Lovely.
Right here, one more right here. Thank you.
Jack, over here.
Let me, can somebody take a picture for me? Sure. Thank you.
On second thoughts, I think it will be this one that hits the mantelpiece.
I think the fireplace will be that big. There'll be plenty of room for all the pictures.
You going on? Okay, here you go.
Straight to this one, you guys.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
And straight to me,
This
please.
is the 70s brigade.
Gentlemen.
Thanks, Bob.
Get your family.
Tiger.
Mama.
Please.
Where's Mama?
Guys, can we come back a bit, honestly? All of us.
I thought I heard Lee saying that this might be the last time we'll come back, so I'll take advantage of this opportunity with his family over there on the bridge.
Absolutely.
I think if we have the
How
ladies sat down,
respectful
maybe.
that picture is.
Oh. Lots of mutual respect in that group for sure.
And then this way, move around, move your eyes around this way, like you very much.
And then here, please, thank you.
That's me. And straight to the end. That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I give somebody a number where you can send me
Yeah, that's
something?
exactly what we
Okay?
We'll get them, yeah.
Right here. All right. There you go.
Tiger.
Yeah, just don't fall off the bridge.
Thank you. Okay, Jack.
Jack, they want to do one with you.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I'll see you in a minute.
Jack.
Tiger.
Jack and his family first. Jack's gone. Let's
You're waiting for him. Tiger.
Can we come back in, sure? Yeah. It's going behind you, don't worry, no one's pushing it.
Oh my goodness, how good is this?
Well, when you think the last US Open at Pebble Beach, Tiger Woods was teeing off, Jack Nicklaus was finishing.
Yeah, no worries.
It was the changing of the golfing area.
Good, run away and thank you.
Can I stand up?
Good, gents. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jack, straight to me. That's it. Lovely. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jed. Cheers.
Nicklaus family.
There's an awful lot of good things have happened today.
Oh. It's hard to count them all. Quite honestly, it's been a brilliant day. It's been a fantastic day.
Yeah, I think it just has the enthusiasm that everybody has to be part of not just this Open, but the 150th Open here with all the, the other legends in the game.
But you look at Tiger and Rory and George, they're standing aside while Trevino did what he felt that he had to do, what he needed to do, and here they are all together walking up one of the most famous holes in the world, Old Tom Morris, all these years ago. And let's hope it's not the last time we see Trevino. He's been good value for a long time.
Now, is there another championship and maybe another sport that celebrates its champions as well as and as brilliantly as golf does? It's fantastic.
I think last Sunday at Wimbledon was fairly special.
That was pretty awesome. I agree. That was pretty awesome.
There. But this has been special as well.
Just one group left down the last. Just serves as such a positive reset as well. A nice and timely reminder of why a lot of these players fell in love with the game.
Just great golfers today, Beamer. No rabbits.
Just the one I saw early this morning out here. I mean, what a day. It's been from the opening tee shot Collin Morikawa hit to all the photos that were taken on the Swoken Bridge by the Nicklaus family back in the distance right now. What a treat today has been out here. And the weather's cooperated. The golf has been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I need a 3-wood.
And I love listening to this man.
Yeah.
Just so much fun to watch. Trevino to play his second.
Taking out a little pitch and wedge. And he's working a little draw in there. Get up there. Go on. Nice drive here by Georgia, right down the heart of it. Will she land it up on top, or is she going to just bump and run it?
Hard ground, you're hitting it pretty good.
Well, I'm playing it back.
Up top it is.
Chance for a birdie there for Georgia Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome to our final group, which includes three-time Open champion Jack Nicklaus.
Nice to make his presence known to everyone in the grandstands, around the streets. Might not have spotted him yet. He is here. And he'll make his way down the last shortly.
I love this shot. It's one of the only American players that we see taking this shot on. Everybody else is out with the lob wedge or the sand iron.
It's kind of a lost art, honestly, Andrew, isn't it? It's a shot that I learned even in growing up in the San Francisco Bay Area, where it's cold and wet. When you play these old school push-up greens, you leave it short, you got to get to a back flag.
Yeah.
You got to play like a little 5-iron, 6-iron on the ground, and I think it's a shot that's kind of been lost on today's players for sure.
100%. If it's good enough for Tiger Woods, it's good enough for anybody.
Absolutely.
Drove the green. This for eagle for Rory McIlroy.
haven't had seen too many people get that putt to the hole today. Should be an easy birdie for Rory there.
It's a fascinating little insight with him and Georgia there about the putting and the Faxon thing with the pace and the coin down the line and trying to one side or the other side.
Well, the reason, I think one of the reasons Brad was such a phenomenal putter when he played was that nothing was technical. It was all about what's out there, nothing that's about what's in here, what he's doing with his stroke or his body. Everything was about where the target is.
I think that you could almost be a sweeping generalization throughout the game with all that, though. You know.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's always about the target.
Left hand below right, hands very close together.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up one more time for the 3-time Open champion, Jack Nicklaus.
I've never had anything. Concentration as good as ever. And I think we've seen enough today. If he can perform like he has over these 4 holes over the next 72, who knows? It may be another great chapter in what's been an amazing story.
Rory matches the birdie. They saved their best for last, as the true champions so often do. So a final 6 for that group. But it's a day that's meant so much more than the score.
It does mean Nick Faldo successful again, St Andrews. I'm sure he would have liked to have continued playing, Nick, but he has got his mind on other things now. It's a fairly big farm he has in Montana. He's got a few lodges to repair and restore, and that's going to be his life. And I'm sure he'll enjoy it. He richly deserves it, because I think a lot of people in years gone by misplaced Nick Faldo. Nick wanted to be on his own and tunnel vision because he felt that was the best way for him to do it. And who's to argue that it wasn't?
I think 6 major championships proves that he was right in his decisions.
Yeah, it was a sacrifice that he was prepared to make, give up all that to be the best.
That's why you guys pick up the tee after you.
Exactly, you already know it's the right distance. Like you did at 16. Don't worry about it, it's good.
Can't remember those things.
Yep.
Huh? Right? Okay, then that's it.
Yep. And the rest of them.
And final signature there on the team card. Question to both of you, Colty, and all three really, you and Aaron. What are Tiger Woods' chances like this week?
It's better than certainly it was going to be at the PGA Championship with the hills. The hard ground, I think, will have a negative impact on his right leg and his sore right ankle.
I think he's got a better than half a chance, I think, to actually win this week. He's got to keep it out of the bunkers. He's got to stay off of awkward lies. I think the leg is still a problem, and still could be an issue. Can you imagine him trying to get into one of those bunkers with one leg up and one leg in? I mean, that could be a serious problem for him this week. So, but if he can keep it out of the bunkers, a la 2000, I think he's got half a chance. One wind direction that he has to study for you in this week, and just that westerly to west-southwest wind.
I tipped him to win in January, and I'm staying with it. And remember, Tiger doesn't do bunkers here.
He doesn't do bunkers here. No.
There's been lots of pictures taken today. And a lot of them will be probably printed tonight.
Oh, I know. Let me tell you this. You know, everybody tells me about this thing. I don't say anything because I don't want people to say anything. But
2 of the fastest players in the game. was played with a great
They
pace.
came and had 2 tournaments in Dallas.
I'm doing full time now, and we're deciding.
Yeah, the ball was in the air before the playing competitors' ball stopped rolling with those two guys.
Over 60 years, the best two players that have graced this game. Many will look at Bobby Jones all these years ago as well, a different era of course, but over 60 years it's been Nicklaus and Woods.
So if you just joined us towards the end of our coverage, let's take a look back at the day that was here on Monday at St Andrews in the celebration of champions. Out in the opening group with the defending champion in Collin Morikawa. This was the 2-1 for Keita Nakajima, and it was a lovely way to start his day. This alongside him. The captain gets his 3 as well.
And Shane Lowry with his 2nd into the 1st. Another beautiful wedge shot.
Oh, what about Nick Faldo rolling back the years down the middle off the tee? No surprise there.
From one great champion to another, Anna Nordqvist at the right-hand side of the 2nd, and they don't come an awful lot better than this.
Hi, John. Thank you. How did that stay out?
In the team with Jordan Spieth, Calcavecchia, and Ian Baker Finch was Juan Postigo Arce. He left his mark today.
And Jennifer Schraga, her team Stenson at the 2nd. Watch her use the slope properly here. Gorgeous shot.
And the team captain Stenson, he'd stuck it in there and then finished it off.
Catriona Matthew, synonymous with Scottish golf. And imperious there from long range at the 2nd.
Tee-shot of Tiger down the right-hand side of the 2nd. Nothing is a lost art for Tiger Woods. Beautifully executed.
And for team player, another great Scottish legend, Sandy Lyle for the birdie. He gets it. Great seeing all these great champions out here again.
Catriona Matthew for the birdie. Could she finish in style? Yes, she could.
Playing in Team Watson, Paul Lowry, who'll strike the first blow on Thursday. Did that at the last.
In Nick Faldo's team was Louis Oosthuizen. 2nd to 18 was a work of art.
And right behind Louis, Ewan wasting no time, getting right up there, one look and bang. John Daly for the birdie. And Andrew, you were just talking about this.
Yeah, just a classic little bump and run with, could have been a 6-iron. A shot rarely seen nowadays.
Closing birdie for both Tiger Woods and for Rory McIlroy. And their open week has begun. And it's been a special celebration of this glorious game.
If you could bottle it, it would sell for millions. Some of the conversations that happened out there today. And this is how it all finished up. Courtesy of 3 sixes, so 3 holes with 2 under par, counting a 6 under par total for Team Faldo, including Zach Johnson, Louis Oosthuizen, John Daly, and Sir Nick Faldo, the man himself, the 3-time Open champion. It's been a pleasure having you with us here for the celebration of champions here at St Andrews today. Well, closing thoughts on what unfolded here today. Aaron, you go first.
I thought it was brilliant. It was, it stirred a lot of emotion. I think for me it did, watching all these great champions play at this old golf course. Potentially seeing a few for the last time here, we don't know. But I think what the R&A has done in creating this celebration of golf, and especially here at St Andrews, just fantastic. Couldn't have gone any better, I thought.
I think we're very fortunate in the game. You've got the R&A here, you've got the USGA with the US Open, you've got the Masters who do theirs, and of course the PGA of America who do the other major. They do them differently, and all 4 of them are quite spectacular.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, I was going to go down just a mutual respect of champions, not just in the game, but of life.
It was Team Faldo in the end that took the celebration of champions title, but today it wasn't really about the score, was it? It was about the smiles, the conversations, and a really healthy reminder of why we all fell in love with this sport. So from all of us here, Tim Barter, Rich Beam, my owner Stevens, Di Stewart have all been out there on the golf course. Aaron Oberholzer, Andrew Coulthard, Ewan Murray, myself, Ali Whitaker. We say thanks for spending time with us here on this truly special occasion. And we look forward to your company throughout the rest of the week. You can always add one more on the mantelpiece. What a way to start the week for the 150th Open coming your way from the home of golf. But for now, from St Andrews, it's good night.